again, YouTube. You never know when things are about to start up.
You know, Mixer don't have that problem though.
Yeah, it go live whenever we want to.
Mixer doesn't have that problem, but I'm pretty sure we're live at this point, though. I'm pretty sure we're live.
We probably are.
Yeah, we probably are. Yo, we got a lot of people waiting here because last week,
we're live. We're live.
Last week was the best episode. The best podcast ever was last week, man. It was the greatest podcast ever. It was the greatest podcast ever, dude.
I don't know why you to yourself, man.
I mean, yeah, man.
Live in like 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh, yo, what's up, everybody? OJ here. Welcome back to another PE podcast. This week, we're back to the regular crew. You know what I'm saying? We're back to the regular crew. Last week we had a little bit of a miscalculation, but this week we are back to full strength. I think Jordan might be joining in at some point here, but that's okay. Maybe he's still mad that I didn't let him into the podcast last week. Maybe just said, screw OJ, screw the PE podcast, whatever the case is. But even if he did, no, I'm joking. He didn't say that. But anyway, all right, so let's go. What's up, everyone? OJ here, welcome. Shout outs to the peeps already donating. We'll get you guys' donations off probably like in the once we finish up on one of the first topics. So thank you guys for the donations. Appreciate that. Ethan, everybody, thank you for the $1.99. Also, Psychopie, thank you for the Canadian dollars as well, man. Appreciate that. So Ethan's gonna be on the podcast next week, guys. So that's gonna be interesting. So thank you for the $1.99. Did you ask your mom, Ethan? And that's not a joke. I just wanted to make sure because he's like 16.
Wow.
No, it's not a joke. He's like 16. What's up? What's up, Baron?
Who named this podcast?
What? PE podcast number 74.
Oh God!
I'm talking about the title of all the good news we got today. That's the thing you put in capital letters. That garbage.
What? Death Stranding?
Could be sarcasm, Baron.
Well, I didn't put Death Stranding in capital.
He said really is in capital, not Death Stranding.
Really in capital.
Not
and NPD's in capital, so that's always good,
Well, NPD kind of has to be in capital.
Makes sense. makes sense.
Man, we got milestones being hit today in history.
NPD
sales in the damn title.
I can't put everything with the NPD, so I'm just NPD sales.
Some of that info was outside of NPD though. But
we'll just talk about sales. We'll talk about sales.
Yeah, we gotta talk about something else too, because
What's that?
I don't know how Pokemon Sword and Shield is not in this title.
Because we've talked about Pokemon Sword and Shield 5 billion times.
I don't want to talk about Pokemon
Sword and Shield today because you're not.
No, we're not talking about it because it's the same. It's the same two people saying the same thing every single time.
I'm good.
Anytime we bring it up, graphics suck. There's not enough Pokemon.
Talk about what they revealed today. You cannot.
What did they reveal? What did
they reveal? That they did reveal that the wild area is big. They revealed that the wild.
I'm muting the stream, guys, until you stop talking about Pokemon.
That's nice. Bye. I'll play it.
Listen, I don't want to talk about Pokemon.
They did a whole major preview on Pokemon Sword and Shield. People played 2 hours of the game, and you think you're going to get away from this, OJ? You lost your damn mind.
It's not getting away with. I've been talking about Pokemon all week on the channel, every live stream.
We have though, so.
In like every single live stream. And not only that, but I didn't read the previews because I'm already going to buy the game. And it's already like, what else do we need to know? It's Pokemon. You want to buy it, you buy it. If you don't buy it, you don't buy it. Everybody's tired of this crap. Everybody even literally comes to my stream and says, dude, we're tired of hearing people complain about Pokemon all day. If you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it. If you want to buy it, then buy it. That's that. It's like, it's getting annoying now. It really is.
First of all, I'm not on your channel complaining about Pokemon every day, so I don't know.
You're on my podcast complaining about Pokemon every single week. If it's in the title, you're complaining
all week.
You complaining isn't gonna make you like the game, Baron. The graphics aren't gonna get better if you complain. The more you complain, so I mean, I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish here. You whining about the game doesn't make. Apparently, you whining makes Death Stranding better, which we are gonna get to, okay? Because that's actually new information. That's actually new information. So Sora
for Smash is trending.
We're not talking about that fake stuff. That's fake.
Yeah.
And not only that, but shout outs to my boy. HFK.
That's why I said it. Because your boy.
He just wanted to start. So he's like, hey, let me start something up today. It's like,
hey. I'm just laughing. I found it funny, but I was trying to get off the Pokemon subject and it worked. So.
Hey, well, you know what? We're gonna get off the Pokemon subject. We're gonna go into another thing here, guys. We're gonna go into Death Stranding. I think that. Oh, actually, no. We gotta do shout outs. Oh, we're not shout outs. We gotta do introductions. Let me do my introductions here. So above me is Baron. Baron, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing as good as that wild area. That's how good I'm doing.
So not very good. Not very good then.
Wow. Okay.
You got. There was one Breath of the Wild comparison. They said it's like 2 areas in Breath of the Wild. So there you go. You wanted Pokemon Breath of the Wild.
2 regions, not 2 whole areas.
2 regions, areas, whatever. Why are you still
just to clarify?
Wait, hold up. I thought you weren't going to talk about Pokemon, dude. You make your comments.
I had to drop my 2 cents.
This man knows everything about the game despite not buying the game.
Hey, I called this the Farfetch evolution. I called Charizard and Pikachu getting those Gigantamax forms. What more do you want from me? I already told you the Ghost type gym leader's special guy, Chatot, evolved Ghost Line type. What else do you guys want?
Tell me what the end game's gonna be like.
The end game is gonna be the chairman is the actual bad guy who helped the champion basically cheat his way to becoming a champion.
So what can you do in the end game?
You actually end up facing Eternatus, which is a Pokemon that is spawned from the Gigantamax and Dynamax energy.
You reading leaks?
Whoa.
Come on.
That's not right.
Hey,
I thought all the regions were just going to disappear into a black hole.
Fortnite?
Yeah.
Yo.
Maybe that'll be the DLC. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. You never know nowadays.
Fortnite Chapter 2?
Pokemon Cross.
Yo, OJ, you should know that Jordan's not going to be here.
Well, I don't need to know that.
Yeah, he said he was coming, by the way.
No, I'm joking. No, it's all good. Shout outs to Jordan, man. Hey, it's all good. If he's probably busy, he's got stuff to do. It's all good.
All right.
Shout outs to my boy Jordan. He'll be back next week. All right. So next up is Abaddon, my boy Abaddon. How you doing today, my man?
What's good? I'm chilling, man. How you?
Doing good. Good to see you here. Hey there, Christian. And VC. We got VC here. VC, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Just dropped an album last week and been doing some videos and streams.
Nice.
Hanging out.
This was good.
Playing some games too.
Let's see. Dakebeam says he told me last week. Okay, so yeah, Jordan told me last week. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. So, that's the thing. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy.
I probably should have mentioned it, honestly. I've known so.
Yeah.
That hot fire you were spinning on that last podcast, it was overwhelming.
Oh man.
Dolo just burning the place down like Seth Rollins.
Yeah, man. And we last but definitely not least, we got Shadow Fox. Shadow Fox, how you doing tonight, my man?
We done stepped in the game. Just been doing a couple podcasts I had to catch up on. Doing my last Shadowcast of the year. Apparently, if you listen to how my frequency is, but
yeah, you got a hot collaboration coming up with Mandy Lee Plays, right?
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Wow!
I just finished doing one with Jay Flynn. Y'all check out his channel too. We're talking about wrestling actually. But
hot collaboration. I can't wait to see that, man. Shout outs to Mandy. Can't wait to see that.
Should be on the next Shadowcast.
Can't wait to see that collaboration. You guys know I love both of you guys though. So just joking around. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. And we're gonna talk about Baron's favorite game outside of Pokemon Sword and Shield, which we already talked about. And that is Death Stranding. So some previews. Apparently some previews are coming in. People have been playing the game. These are secret Kojima specialists that have gotten their hands on the game.
Previews of this game.
But Baron, you should like this game because it doesn't have N64 trees.
That's true. The graphics look great.
It's the only good thing about it.
Damn about that boring, dull-looking overworld that shit.
But apparently the game is really good. Not only that, but Sony.
According to there are no. Hey you.
No, listen. Apparently the game is really good though. Apparently the game is really good because
That's Jordan. Some bullshit. That's apparently what it is.
Jordan, where are you?
I'm in Texas.
Hey, shout out, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Are you gonna be able to stay for the whole podcast, or you just hanging out for a little bit?
No, I'm checking in. I have like downtime for a few minutes, so I'm checking in, saying what's up. I heard my name being mentioned. I heard some confusion going on.
Oh yeah, that's on me because you did tell me that you were traveling last week. So
yeah, I went to I'm doing Retropalooza here, but I went to Beckett, who grades like Pokemon cards and stuff, and I brought one of my shiny Charizards here, and well, I'm very happy with what it got graded, and I'll have a video on that early next.
Okay, so did you actually trade it in?
No, I'm not selling it.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to get it graded for my collection, but it may or may not be worth quite a bit of money right now.
Nice,
That's awesome.
Nice. You hold on to it and put it in a trust fund. Then
Also,
future Jordan fringes can live off of it.
It's my doomsday backup saving. But I went to the state fair in Texas, which is as big as like a whole city, right? It's huge. Nintendo was there, and they had a whole like big experience, and I got like all this like Pokemon swag at an event, and all this was awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nintendo of America doing marketing. What?
Dude, it was crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
Surprise!
That's crazy.
Yeah. So what's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
Everyone's going good, man. Everyone's doing good. But we're gonna be talking about Death Stranding. I know, like you said, you're just checking in, but we're gonna be talking about Death Stranding. Apparently, the game's pretty good.
Supposedly.
See, all I've seen are people saying, "Hey, I'll talk about it November 1st." That's all I've seen.
Yeah. Game over, Greggy, and so
Well,
forth.
here's the thing.
Yang Ye got one too.
Yeah, here's the thing. There's a lot of like some of the bigger press out there that have. Baron's like, I'm dipping. He's like, enough of this Death Stranding being good talk here. He's like, I'm out. He's just he yeeted himself out of there. But yeah, man. Apparently the game is pretty good. From like there's been some people that have been talking about the game and and whatnot. And some people were even saying, oh my gosh, yo, what's going on? Okay, some people were even saying, what's it called? Metal Gear Solid 2 vibes. That's one thing that I heard.
Because maybe they've been lying, and there's a huge change that happens in the game, just like Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you, man. It's all a facade marketing. You're not going to get the game they're showing off. I feel it.
And that's what I was. That's why I just said, like, the last times that that we were seeing the game, I was like, can we just get the game? I remember saying that on the Spawncast. I was like, I just need to get the game.
Yeah. Because like, if you look at the footage and gameplay they've shown us, does that look great or super fun to you?
No,
probably not.
No.
So that's why if people are saying it's great or it's super fun or whatever these people are going to say on November 1st, if there's a Metal Gear Solid like twist or something, then yeah, I believe it. I'm sure there's something in there that's a huge different element. I'm sure we've seen nothing of the actual game. I feel that way.
I'm kind of worried, and the only reason why I say that is, at least with the Phantom Pain, then at the time, at least you got the hint that it was a game, and that's what type of game it was going to be, and you knew, hey, well, looks like Snake's in it, but it's not a Metal Gear Solid game until they finally changed the name of it, and it was completely different. It wasn't the type of experience we were used to as far as like your traditional Solid Snake adventure. It ended up being like more choose your own adventure type, side mission type situation, but that was different. That was kind of a little twist, but the original thing that we saw was like, this looks like this is going to be Solid Snake with a whole bunch of different acid trips in it, and they just didn't want to call it Metal Gear yet. But this game, like, I don't know it, and they showed off the errand mission, but I mean, that just looks like a side mission in Xenoblade or something. I don't know how that's ever going to be a whole game.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I really hope that you're right. Let's put it that way.
See, guys, we can agree. People think everyone hates each other on this podcast for the last couple weeks. That's not true.
The only person,
somebody start a fight.
I'll throw a chair. Wait, hold up. Let me go throw a chair real fast.
I only hate myself. That's the only person that I actually hate is literally myself.
That's okay.
So, yeah, that's okay. It's okay to hate yourself. Yeah, you can.
No, it's not.
Well, you're not hurting anybody else. If you hate yourself, then you hate yourself. So. It is what it is. Does anybody else have anything to add on Death Stranding VC? I mean, I don't know if this is a game that you're interested in at all.
Initially, I was interested in the game, but like you said, Jordan, that's a good point. There could be something in the game that is a gameplay element that can change the whole experience. So if I do find out about that from the reviews, which I hope they explain, that would be really great because it may incline me to buy it day one. If not, then I'll probably wait it out.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm going to wait it out.
I have a copy pre-ordered, so
same here. I have the Steelbook pre-order, not the baby edition. I don't want that.
And you don't want a jar, baby? You don't want a jar, baby?
Chips got
What's wrong with a jar, baby, Jordan? What's wrong?
Listen, like, there's no, like, to each their own. But to me, if you get that collector's edition for a little fetus in a jar, You're weird. All right, I'm just gonna say it. You're weird if you want that. I just want the Steelbook. That's it. I'm just getting the Steelbook edition. That's it.
You know what I'm thinking with this game? What they're gonna do? Where the twist? I think you're gonna be able to play as somebody else in a different world or something like that. Like you're gonna.
That'd be cool.
There's that one world, and then you go to like a different area, and maybe you're just something completely else. What you've gathered or your experiences, it just completely changes something. Because they particularly said Metal Gear Solid 2. And that's the thing.
They touched on that in one trailer though, and then they never mentioned it again. Like you literally leave dimensions, but they didn't touch on that again. They showed it on the second trailer, and they never touched that subject.
What if the twist is because they haven't shown off any Mads Mikkelsen stuff in a while, and they showed him off in a few trailers doing like some important stuff. So what if, because like they show him also like in World War II or all these different like other events and whatnot. I think once you get to the point in the game like far into the escort mission at the start, I think it's going to start getting really weird and sci-fi, and like a really cool story is going to happen. That's where the twist is and the interesting stuff. And I have a feeling you play as Mads Mikkelsen at some point, and not Daryl from The Walking Dead, and Norman Reedus. Like I think there's going to be some actual like cool. And if that's the story, if it changes and like that escort mission is just the beginning of the game and then it abruptly changes, I think that's a cool idea. Like again, it goes into false marketing, but maybe in a good way. Like I'm saying, there's not an inherent problem to it, but it's the Metal Gear 2 Solid thing. They advertised that game as Snake. Did you play as Snake? Not really.
Yeah, they could be doing the same thing here. Baron, I know you're rearing to go on this one, my man. So you have anything you want to add? You've been laughing at some of the stuff we've been saying. So I mean, what's going on, Baron? What's your
all
thoughts?
I got to say is that hearing y'all being optimistic is like hearing people being optimistic that Trump is going to change in 2020.
Politics.
I'm just basically going to just pray for y'all. That's all, man. I ain't got nothing else to say about this. Y'all just ain't going.
Baron, are you worried? Baron, let me ask you a couple questions.
I'm not.
Are you worried that this game is going to be good?
I'm not an energy. Trust me, I'm not worried about that one bit. I'm gonna put it to you like this: you have 4 major games get hands-on previews. Death Stranding wasn't one. That should say enough for you right there.
Well, the reviews are going to be out a week before the game launches.
It doesn't matter. The reviews for Luigi Mansion comes out in a week,
but
they had a hands-on preview.
Pokemon
Sword and Shield had a hands-on preview. Star Wars had a hands-on preview. The Outer Worlds had a hands-on preview. Well, why Death Stranding didn't have a hands-on preview?
You could have had a
because Kojima's trying to keep it secret.
If you went to any of the events around the world, you could have seen stuff. So
I'm not with that, but I'll let y'all still believe though.
Nah, I'm not going to. I think good, bad, or indifferent. They're going to be.
I mean, y'all can be optimistic. I'm just.
So you still think the game is going to be? Is
talking about the game?
So you're tired of talking about this game, but you feel free to talk about Pokemon, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be on Pokemon's ass until the 15th. Trust me, I'm on.
I'm just saying, like,
got better looking trees, man.
I don't see. The thing is, I just don't understand. It's like
here's the difference though. Pokemon, we didn't see footage until now. Death Stranding, we watched damn near 3 hours of footage. And one was over the time over Tokyo Game Show. So we know what that is. So
we've been seeing about 3 years worth of Death Stranding.
But do we actually know what it is? That's what me and Jordan were talking about. Do we actually know what it is?
We're singing enough to know what we're gonna do with the controller now here. That's basically.
Dude, Kojima's he's crazy. That's why I put that thumbnail that you guys saw. You know what I'm saying? That's why that thumbnail's there.
There's like a lot of feedback.
There is a lot of feedback.
But the thing, I'm not doubting that. I think it's just going to be a story-driven game. It's just going to be a great story. That's it. Okay. It's nothing revolutionary going to happen.
All right, Jordan.
All right. Have a good podcast. I just wanted to come and say hi. Yeah. I'll be back next week, though, actually on the podcast.
All right. Take it easy. Have a good time. Have a good time, man. Take care.
Have a good time, bro.
Yeah, let me get that Pokemon card, man.
No. All right. Bye-bye.
That's a how about no. You know what I'm saying? Like that's definitely a how about no. But shout outs though. Shout outs. Let me go through some of these donations here, man, and then we'll kind of wrap it up with because we've got a lot of other stuff to get into. So we'll get into
right.
So let me get through these donations. Ethan R, thank you for the $1.99. Says, can you start the podcast? Psycho Pie says, are we starting today? This is before. Ethan R donated another $1.99. Says, bro, 40 minutes late. Shut up. I'm not 40 minutes late. Ethan R again super chat. It says podcast is going to be lit fire next week. Aaron donated $2. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for using Streamlabs as well. He says complaining about Pokemon noises. Okay. Matthew Hammond donated. And he says, use Streamlabs to donate. So Matthew Hammond said, if you're going to donate, use Streamlabs to donate. I agree. Ethan R says, Jordan's the smelliest man in Retropalooza. Well, he's not here anymore. So.
Well,
Yikes.
Let me clear something up for the chat.
Okay.
When I made that reference to the president, it was basically telling you that what you see is what you're getting. It's not going to change. That's basically what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with siding with anybody.
But you're assuming he's going to be there in 2020, though.
With that person, what you see is what you get. It's not going to change. With Death Stranding, it's the same thing. What you see is what you're going to get. It ain't going to change.
I don't know, man.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know.
It has nothing to do with no political thing.
Okay, that makes sense. Shout out to Kudo Tengetsu. Thank you for sponsoring. Welcome back. I know you've been a sponsor before, so I appreciate that. You guys giving some love emotes and sitting guns in the chat. Thank you for that sponsorship as well. Ethan R. Kudo Tengetsu donated $2. Says, is anyone interested in the PS4 Pro bundle? Anybody here interested in PS4 Pro bundles? Or?
I need to buy a PS4 Pro.
I think like Death Stranding.
Done.
Death Stranding has a PS4 Pro bundle, I think.
Why would you buy a PS4 Pro?
It looks like a kindergartner did finger.
Because I gotta have them all. My son has my PS4 in college right now, so I need to get the PS4 Pro so I might as well.
Oh Lord.
Hey, I'm trying to get them kids out of the house. Trying to get them out of the house.
Listen. I support.
I want to shake your hand. Okay. So Juice Man Vaughn also donated a $2 donation. Oh, I'm not interested in. I already got a PS4 Pro. So shout outs to Julio and also my man Rock. So shout outs to both of you guys for getting me that one. So they got that for me. So I already got one. I have a regular PS4 as well, so I'm not getting it. Also shout outs to Katana Riku Juice Man Vaughn donated $2 and says maybe you become the jar baby. That's what he's saying with Death Stranding. Maybe become the jar baby.
You know what? That's not too far fetched, actually.
Hey, dude,
it really isn't.
You might.
That's why
you might, dude. And Katana Riku donated $1. Says hi everyone on the panel. LOL. So shout outs to Katana Riku.
What's good?
What's good, man? All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here, man. We're gonna be discussing the Blizzard Overwatch controversy and kind of how Nintendo.
Okay, can you before you get into that, can you break this whole thing down because I came on the tail end of it, and
sure.
I don't understand what the outrage is actually about.
I
don't even know what happened.
I can break it down. So there's some civil rights problems going on in Hong Kong right now. And China's kind of suppressing that, right? So people are they want a democracy. So that's essentially what's going on. That's just the basic gist of it. There's more layers to it, but that's just the basic gist. So there's issues, right? So there is a professional.
I got that part. Where
there's
does Blizzard come in? This is where I'm confused.
Yeah, there's a professional. I think Hearthstone, whatever that, however you call it, whatever. Yeah. There's a professional player, and he gave support to Hong Kong in an official interview with
after his victory,
after his tournament victory, he won like 10 grand or something like that, and he gave support to Hong Kong essentially. And Blizzard has major ties, monetary wise, to China, and obviously China, they don't want to hear that. China is communist, if I'm not correct, right? Communist.
Yep.
So obviously they don't want to hear that, right? So Blizzard. China was obviously mad. The Chinese people that are dealing with Blizzard, and Blizzard was always like, "Oh snap!" You know what I'm saying? We got to do something. So what Blizzard did is that they actually banned him. I think at first they banned him indefinitely.
They banned him for a year. No, they banned him for a year. No.
Okay, so
they banned him for a year and took away his prize money, which was 10,000 grand.
And took away his money and banned him for a year. And they also banned the commentators. Banned the commentators for a year. And then after the backlash. They reduced it by pretty much half, or they gave him back his money. They gave him back his money, and then they reduced it to 6 months. And then,
which is still bad.
Which is still really bad. And then they also put out a statement saying, this had nothing to do with China. This is something that we don't want our players getting into, like political type of stuff and all of that. So that's essentially what was going on. That's essentially what's going on there. So obviously it's a human rights type of thing. So people are upset at Blizzard that they did not stick up for their player, or for not their player, but for the player. And because obviously a lot of people see what's going on in Hong Kong as, China being wrong, regardless of how you look at it, they see it as that because, democracy. So yeah, that's essentially what's going on here. And now that's seeping to Blizzard, to Overwatch on the Switch, which is very unfortunate because, I'm going to go ahead, Baron.
I want to talk about that before we get to Overwatch.
Okay.
So that's seriously it? The reason why everybody's mad at Blizzard right now? That's it?
Wait,
you really got to be kidding me, right?
That's a big deal.
That's actually a very big deal.
That's not a big deal. People got to understand that these companies are not here to be affiliated in any political.
No. You missed the whole point, dude. They took his money. Like, he won prize money fairly.
Just for him making a statement.
Blizzard.
You gotta understand. Companies want their companies to remain neutral. They don't want them to really be affiliated with anything.
But they don't have to have affiliation with the kid. It's like, yo, they could say we have no affiliation with this kid. Let him win his prize money. The fact they took away his prize money, then on top of that, banned him for a year.
Well, they gave it back to him and reduced the ban.
But that's
not the point.
That's the
my point is, I'm pretty sure there had to be some type of rule in place to where you couldn't have any type of language that offended or had any political affiliation with something. Just like you can't slander any type of race or gender on stream.
The reason Blizzard's mad is
let's BC before you go because I know what area you're going to go into. There is a rule about Blizzard does have some type of rule about. Apparently, they claim to have a rule like that. So go ahead, BC.
I know everybody that streams has rules like that because I used to stream for Madden tournaments and there's certain things I couldn't talk about.
I have rules about
talking
that too.
about it though. This is about how Blizzard themselves make a lot of money in China. It's one of their biggest areas for their company to make money off all their games.
I understand that, but you got to understand the rules in place.
But they're siding for the greed over the freedom of speech of their own competitors. And
but no, what
it means business-wise, but
you're not understanding what it is. Listen.
I know what Baron's trying to say.
A company tries to remain neutral because all they want to do is focus on business. They don't want nothing to do with political. That's why you sign a contract. You have these rules when you stream and when you're a commentator. Yes. So when OJ told me the commentators got in trouble too, they must have obviously said something or hinted something toward it as well.
They did,
because there's certain things you cannot talk about.
Yeah,
it's written in the rules that this is what you can't talk about. Strictly gaming. The reason I'm bringing this up and I'm actually siding with them on a little bit is because this has nothing to do with gaming. You know what I mean? And I understand some players like to take their platforms, and some athletes do it too, to take their platform to speak for social injustice and stuff like that. But people got to understand that companies put these rules in place so they won't be put in a position to choose a side.
So I get
when you do that, now they have to respond accordingly. So I'm not mad at them for disciplining the guy. I'm glad they gave him his money back because he won. He should have gave him his money. But if the rule is in place to where you can't talk about anything, then don't do it.
But no, you see, now, Baron, now this is where I say I can somewhat see what you're saying, because honestly, if you were to be really about that, you got to take a risk. You can't take a stand like that and not expect any type of risk. It's what you're saying. That's with any type of civil rights. We all know that with how countries go. So we don't have to stay there. But to your whole point where you're saying, I think the main issue that people had was that they took the money. Not so much the ban, because the ban could be very well justified, but taking his money and just the initial fact that they only gave him back his money because of the backlash. If there was no backlash,
here's the thing: him going out of his way and doing that, because he obviously that was premeditated. That ain't something he just thought about when he won.
Of course,
so he premeditated that he was going to do that. So he knew he was going to break that rule, and he knew he was doing something that was very touchy, and he knew that would put Blizzard in a hard place. To now they have to respond to something they never wanted to respond to.
Absolutely.
So I don't blame him for taking the money away at first, but he did win the tournament and they gave it back to him. So you got to understand, see, everybody likes to attack these companies and don't put themselves in their shoes sometimes.
Oh, definitely.
If you're running a company and you're trying to remain neutral, you're trying to stay on this great thin ass line of neutral in this world today. It's very thin. It's a very thin line to try to stay neutral,
especially in cancel culture.
And then you have people who you trust and you will contract, who is supporters of you, go out and choose left or right, and now you're obligated to respond to it. So that's a hard position to put a company in. So I don't understand why everybody's mad at Blizzard, because Blizzard has to react to this. Instead of focusing on gaming, Blizzard has to worry about what's going on with China.
But I think another thing is
their place. That's not their place.
And another thing I have to say is that Blizzard they're saying that their relationship with China has nothing to do with their decision, which is bullcrap. It's like, I feel like more people would have been more receptive if Blizzard would have owned up and said, due to our relationship. They said, no, it's not because of our relationships with China that we're making our decision. And because of that, everyone's just calling them out on their BS. It's like, come on, you don't have to lie.
But y'all just assuming it's
like,
part of China's situation.
So they have
but
rules.
It's really probably the situation that they want to remain out of it.
They do, Baron, but that's just a catch-all though. Like real talk, we do know that it's a they have a vested interest in China anyway.
Lots of interest.
Majority of a lot of players, they have a lot of players of Hearthstone and whatnot.
Like they made Diablo immortal for the people in China. There's so many mobile gamers there. Like seriously, Baron. Like they have huge ties with China, and they're a communist country that's killing people right now.
I
like
understand all that.
They don't want to be on either side of that equation because they want the money either way.
But you got to understand who's that battle for. Is that a battle for a gaming company?
No, but they're wrapping themselves in it.
That's the point. So they don't want to be part of it. I understand people get really sensitive about this stuff because it's very serious stuff and it's heartbreaking stuff. But you got to understand there's certain places and companies who do these battles. Gaming companies are not here to do those battles.
What I'm saying is, I understand
them taking their action the way they did because they didn't want no part of it. Now they're dragged into this.
What I'm saying is it's a double standard because next year at E3, you know what they're going to do? They're going to have a trans person be on stage and say, "Hey, I'm the first trans person on stage at E3." They're going to do that. They're going to talk about insert game here, talking about mental health issues or whatnot. They pick and choose which social issues they want to deal with as the brand for their company. So it's not necessarily just, oh, well, we want to be neutral all the time. It's by default we're going to be neutral because if it's a situation or some shit we can't deal with, we want to be hands off.
Yeah,
but stuff that we can profit off of, we'll do that. That's the truth.
Now that's true. But the thing is, it ain't just one company. It's monkey see, monkey do. It's monkey see, monkey do in this corporate world. So if it's something trending right now and they can hop on it and make money off it, they'll do it. That's why you see all these female leads in video games right now. That's why you see the more LGBTQ community representing the gaming right now because they feel like they can make money off it. That's the sad truth of it, you know what I mean? But that's what they feel like they're doing. As long as there's a positive outcome to it, they will try to market it. But when it's a heated debate on both sides, companies are not going to engage with that. They're going to stay as far away as possible.
I'm just noting
somebody to take it upon themselves to go on stream and inflect them into something as serious as what's going on in China. I think that's really messed up for him, that man, to do that.
The thing about it though, Baron, like you guys were saying, like they're picking and choosing.
They're picking and choosing.
That's the problem. They're picking and choosing because if he would have said, "I stand up for everybody's rights," you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's rights here in the U.S. I don't think he would have been punished. But it's because of the money, right? It's really because of the money. If China wasn't given, or if they didn't have such big business ties, then obviously he wouldn't have been punished like this. Let's just say they were donating, I don't know, $1,000 to the prize pool. You think this would have happened to him? Nah, probably not. You know what I'm saying? It's because of the amount of money. It's not necessarily. I mean, that's where the problem is.
I think y'all looking too low. If the dude got up there and said, "Oh, all LGBTQ community can go to hell," I'm pretty sure he would have got the same punishment.
Well, that's different though,
because that would have had the same effect of them. That's what I'm saying. Anything that's not positive in the trending society, companies want to stay away from it. It has y'all putting too much focus on China. It's just the fact that it's a negative debate topic.
Hold up, you're dealing with,
and they don't want nothing to be.
You're dealing with more. You're thinking what? Here's the thing. There's always a public perception of morality in terms of, and that like if you say something like all LGBT is like bad or whatever the case, that's pretty much overall looked at as like, yo, that's a negative thing that you just said. Whereas if you give support to Hong Kong, that's looked at as a positive thing. For most people, it's a positive thing.
Yeah, for most people,
with very few amount of people that are like, wait a minute.
Anything that's conflicted is what I meant to say. Anything that's conflicted, companies stay away from that.
But not all companies, and not necessarily. That's what I'm saying. Like if, for example, like Nintendo,
LGBT. Sorry. Excuse me for me.
Yeah, it's hard to say that.
Gay rights is gonna be. That's gonna offend some people just by you saying we support that. But since it's so popular and that is currently where we are today, it's a marketing tool, unfortunately, and it's good branding for a company versus say, like right now saying I support Hong Kong is probably not a good idea. It is as right as it may be for democracy. That's not a good idea for any company to do right now because that's a rock and a hard place.
And it's only because of the money coming in though. That's the thing. China especially for video gaming, China brings in tons of money. That's the
and China is controlled by the government currently as well. So they can instantly say,
I mean, and that's the only reason why, like, you're not allowed to say something, you know, like it's because of how much money they bring. If China didn't bring in this amount of money, this would not be a controversial thing, in my opinion.
My bad. I was wanting to see how my mic levels were.
I think you're better now, dude. Like,
Okay.
you're good now. I mean, but like, seriously, if China wasn't bringing in this amount of money, obviously it would not be. This would not be an issue. I don't think.
And you talking about 4 billion potential customers gone like that because they control their internet and everything. At any moment, they could just ban. China could just say, you know what? All the DNS addresses you have, we'll never connect to those again, and you're done.
Yeah.
That's your revenue stream. It's gone.
Yeah,
and Blizzard relies on that a lot. Yeah. So that's why I can see, like I said, I can see Barron's points after he puts it out there. It's like, from a business standpoint, from a morality standpoint, it's jacked up.
Yeah.
But from a business standpoint, you got to do what you got to do for your bottom line at the end of the day. That's the cold-hearted truth about it. And a lot of us won't understand that because a lot of us don't run our own businesses. So we can't necessarily understand that perspective and understand that there are jobs at stake.
Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this.
And profit at stake.
I'm gonna put it to you like this as another example where most of the chat can understand it. I'm pretty sure a lot of you cannot go to your job tomorrow and do what that guy did and think you won't get reprimanded or get in some type of trouble.
I can definitely do that. I'm
right
well,
here.
I mean, look, anybody that works a 9 to 5, anybody that works a regular 9 to 5 probably cannot go to their job and make that their main focus of what they want to do that day. I'm pretty sure your business that you work for is not going to tolerate that.
Nope.
Regardless if it's a good thing or a bad thing, they're not going to tolerate that. So I don't understand why when it comes to these gaming companies or sports teams, everybody thinks differently. They're the same type of business. They don't want to. They cannot be affiliated with that.
Because
I think with Blizzard, though, there's a lot of controversy they've been going through besides that as well. With the whole BlizzCon thing last year to them pulling out of the Overwatch Switch event at New York literally just a few days ago solely because of this backlash. And it's a whole lot of things adding up together. And that's why people are so anti-Blizzard right now.
Well, I'll say this with Blizzard and with this. Like, if I was in their shoes and you're paying the amount of money that they're paying these executives and these people developing, it is absolutely terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying for like Shadow Fox was saying, oh, well, we'll just say, nope, you can't have any of our money. China can just do that in an instant. And then what? And then what do you got? Layoffs?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
Layoffs, and then this, and then that. So if I was them, I wouldn't have came down as hard on the kid at first, but I definitely would have. If I was an executive, you know what I'm saying? You have to say something. If that's going to be your money, because you're getting so much money from them, what can you do? You're in a unsolvable position. If China decides to cut you off, and that's where a lot of this money is coming from, you're in trouble. As in your livelihood,
100%.
as in your team's livelihood, as in a lot of people, all those big. You ever been to Blizzard's HQ?
Your fiscal year just started. Yeah. So your investors are like, what?
Y'all ever been there? It is.
No, we ain't been there.
Well, Ms. Click has been there. It is nice. You know what I'm saying? They've got to pay these people. Like, you can't just one wrong step, man. So I mean, it's hard. Like, we obviously, I don't agree with what Blizzard did, but man, like, I see both sides.
You see both sides, yeah.
It's not definitely, and it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely both sides being played as well. As far as you, like I said, you got to please both the investors and the public, and you have to weigh your options and say, hey, if we make this gesture toward the public, what are the potential ramifications and what are the potential, I guess, as far as I guess the outcome that will be beneficial to us, and how does that affect our pocket? Like in Nike's case, they're just like, we're going to deal with 7 because we see so many people that support 7, and for the amount of people that burn shoes, so many more people bought them. So it just depends. So whether it's negative or positive, a company is going to decide what's beneficial based on the bottom line, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And in a prime example of what I'm saying is how Nintendo responded. They started giving people refunds because they don't want no part of that.
Yep.
That's not what their company is here to. They're not here to fight that battle. That's not what they're there for.
The thing that I would like, though, is, I mean, it's got to be like one way or another. Either you let people talk about it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the whole picking and choosing, which I don't think Blizzard has been that way in terms of picking and choosing, but it needs to be. I'm pretty sure going forward they're going to set it said it pretty straight. But it's, I mean, I've seen some people, some of like, the Elite Ninjas say, oh, well, why can't they just like, cut their salaries or take, guys, nothing. It's a capitalistic business. Cutting your salary isn't gonna appease an investor because they want to see large amounts of money coming in. They don't want to see,
that's all they want, more and more money.
Yeah, you took a pay cut, so now we have more money. That's not how capitalism works. That's not how a publicly traded company works. All that means is that you reduced your salary, so maybe you can factor that into your profits, but investors want to see large amounts of money coming in.
Exactly.
Yes. When's the next profit for next quarter?
Yeah. They don't want to see you cutting your salary. That's a bad. If you cut your salary because you cut off billions of dollars, you are going to be ejected like Go Gadget from that. You are going to be springed out of there because it's a publicly traded company. This is not. If this is private, if this is in and out, you know what I'm saying? Feel free, say whatever the hell you want. It's in and out.
Yeah, Five Guys, same thing.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
The only publicly traded company that acts that ethically is Nintendo, and I still don't understand the investors that do what they do because they still act like Nintendo is Sony or Microsoft with them because they're not going to make the quarterly projections you think they're going to. So I don't know why these same people sit on their board asking the same stupid questions.
But they can still be pressured into certain things. They can still be like, for example, like smartphone gaming, right? Like they can still, that's in large part investors saying you need to get into something now and at this point, you know? And Nintendo being a little bit of a tough spot with how the Wii U went in terms of profits and stuff like that. So I think that, I mean, obviously they're not effective as much as the other companies, but it's always one of those things to where it's like it's very difficult. Like if you're in their shoes, most of you guys, pretty much all of us, unless you're looking to, and I get it, some of you guys might just take the bullet, right, and get kicked off the board and lose and all that and just let everything go down in flames. But with like potentially what, $1 billion or 500 million or however much money is coming from China, that being sapped away. A lot of you guys, obviously you guys are like, oh, well, I do the right thing and I'd step down. But a lot of people
couldn't take that hit.
But they're not looking at it that way. They're looking at, this is my livelihood. This is my, this is my career. I have teams. They have families. If this money is gone, we're all going to be out of a job. There's going to be a lot of people out of a job. So are you willing to really do that over what one guy, I mean, what he said? At the end of the day, you're not going to be able to affect it at all because you're an American company against a communist, like you're not going to be able to do anything to stop that, right? For the most part. So it's just, it's a tough spot.
Well, at the end of the day, the bottom line is, I'm pretty sure they had some rules in place and I'm pretty sure he went over the rule.
Oh,
because there's no way they have nowhere to say you can say whatever you want on stream. There's no way they had that. No way. So he obviously probably broke that rule.
Especially with money involved. So
that's definitely the bottom line. So if he broke a rule, you got to pay the consequences. That's just how it works. You can't have it both ways. So
let's get some donations in here. There's some people that have added some really good comments too. Shout outs to, once again, Kuro Tengetsu. Dean is 12 months of Prime, man. Thank you. Aaron says, screw Blizzard. Thank you for the $2. It says, screw Blizzard, hashtag screw Blizzard, hashtag boycott Overwatch. I'm going to have a video on that tomorrow morning, why I'm not going to boycott Overwatch. And I think it's going to be a very controversial, but it's going to be an interesting video too. Juice Man Vaughn donated $5, but thank you for the $2, Aaron. I appreciate it. Thank you for also giving your opinion as well. Juice Man Vaughn donated $5, says, the point is now we're seeing the NBA and Blizzard's loyalty to Chinese money over the morals and convictions that the USA is supposed to represent. That is a loaded question that goes into all
exactly
sorts.
What we just talked about.
Yeah, that goes into all sorts of stuff. And talk about USA. I mean, we saw Colin Kaepernick get destroyed for kneeling, exercising his right. You know what I'm saying? So this is something that it's been happening, and this has nothing to do with Chinese money or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So the
NFL situation, they didn't have a rule for that.
Yeah.
So that was the only difference. They didn't have a rule for that.
Yeah. So I mean, but then again, nobody's dying. I mean, this is the difference, is that people are dying, whereas somebody just, hey, I can't make millions in the NFL now, and I can make millions speaking to people, because that's what Colin does now. He just speaks to people and makes millions. So it's very different. Maybe I shouldn't have brought that up, but either way, you guys see what I'm trying to say there. Now it's a speech against current president. That's okay though. All right. Kuro Tengetsu donated $5 and says they took a side when they fired the casters. They didn't fire him. They just suspended him. And the Blitzchung money away. Well, they gave that money back. They only backtracked once the backlash peaked online. That's true. That's with the influence of the Chinese money. Anton says read all Blitzchung us from Hong Kong. That's his family, or I think he's been from the U.S. Baron, please learn about what Hong Kong people are protesting before forming an opinion? Well, he asked me, and I told
Listen, let me respond to that.
Let me finish reading what he had to say. If we don't protest, we turn a blind eye to cruelty and injustice everywhere. So,
all right, that's nice and all, but we talking about gaming. That's nice and all, but Blizzard is a gaming company. That's nice and all, but that was a gaming convention and a gaming tournament, which has nothing to do with that situation. I don't understand why people don't understand that. It's just as simple as that. It's that easy.
Here's my answer.
Let the people who fight those battles, who are trained to fight those battles, who are great at fighting those battles, to get the right justice for those people, let those people do that.
That's what I'm saying. Write your congressman. Because this and China isn't the only one. There's other stuff like this going on that's even worse. Like China is on TV because they're allowed to cover that, but there's other stuff that's on TV that's happening right now on other channels, but not in the United States, where people are dying in protest and not just getting beat up.
Yeah, seriously.
And they're not covering that because vested interests. Let's put it that way. So, write your congressman. That's all I can say.
Especially in different other countries. In other countries, there's worse, heinous things happening where they know the country's corrupt. And there's really nothing you can do about it. So it's like
vested interest, so we can't.
Yeah, so it's like there's a lot that goes into that. Now, in terms of what's going on in Hong Kong, what the kid did was admirable. Like, I will say that it's an admirable thing that he did. But at the same time, what Barron is trying to say, what the whole cast is trying to say, is he signed a contract. At the end of the day, you cannot get mad. If he signed a contract, he knew what he was doing. He knew what was at risk.
He could be sued.
He could be, actually, because when you breach a contract, he was about to get sued. He was actually about to be fined his prize money and pay that back on top of it being taken away. But for the sake of interest, for the sake of business, for the best business sake, they waived all of that and lowered it down to a 6 month probation for him not to participate in the tournament. For what he did, for him to be a martyr to his country, for him to bring more awareness, which he did. So it's a good thing. He still got his job done. He still got off easy. Where many people, when it comes to history, if you want to get very real, is bloodshed. If you really want to get very real with history. So honestly, I commend the kid. He got off easy for what he did, and let's move forward.
Wait a minute. Hold up, VC. You said that you were responding, but I think that all pro.
Well, to me, I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah. All
but I
pro
don't
league
know.
players.
We all don't know for sure.
All pro league players have there are rules set in place for pro league players.
It's a foregone conclusion at this point. He signed a contract.
There's like, for example, like if you go to a Smash Brothers tournament and you're being interviewed, there are certain things that you can and can't say. You don't even have to sign a contract. Just by you, like they have a code of conduct. Like, for example, if you go there, you can't do anything illegal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't sexually assault somebody. That's part of the rule book. Like, you know, there's certain things that and I'm pretty sure that there are.
But that's
kind of
common sense too.
Say, though.
Just like old school tournaments.
Sense, though, for some people.
Old school tournaments I went to in Sunnyvale a long time ago. Like, you had to sign a contract saying that you would not sue the venue if you got hurt there.
Yeah, that's in there for simple. Anything. That's in there for any. Like, if you go to a gym, when you sign up at a gym, that's naturally
sign your life away.
That, you know.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of a good example, OJ. Let's say if I went to the gym and I wanted to make a jackass video and I hurt myself, then I try to blast the gym for it.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't, like, come on. This is like the same situation. It's like, yo, they had a rule in place. The dude broke the rule. It's a sensitive subject, which makes everybody, you know, go crazy, but you gotta understand that's just something he was not supposed to do.
We're not going to be. And shout outs to Anton. I appreciate you want to be progressive on the topic, but we're not going to be discussing the issue itself because we're not like CNN or we're not like we're not Fox or whatever the case is. We're just discussing the video game part of it and the video game angle because that's where we specialize in. It's kind of more of that. We're not discussing what's going on there and how can we. I mean, we're not discussing that. We're discussing
that's
the
a
video
different
game.
podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole different podcast, or that's like an OJ Live when we're just chilling and we can talk about it, but not when I have everybody else on. We're talking about the video game side of it. So we're talking about that and that only. We're not talking about we all know more. Obviously, we all feel for the people in Hong Kong, right? I think we can all sit here and say that we all feel for everybody in Hong Kong, but we're not discussing. We're not getting deep into that. You know what I'm saying? So So I think at the end of the day, I think it says like if you want to play Overwatch on the Switch, I mean I think it's kind of rough that that you I mean, then I guess you should boycott every single Chinese product, like Double D.
So I don't understand this boycott. It's like you finally got. I mean, I ain't gonna say finally. This is one of the better Switch ports that have been done.
It's really good.
Actually, it's not.
Overwatch being a success. Anyway, like I was saying, this is one of the better Switch ports that's ever been done, and for you to not support it, it could be more detrimental than it actually impactful to what you think you're doing.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't get the Overwatch Switch port because the physical comes with no cart and a 12 gigabyte download day one. You can get the Witcher Switch port, came out the same day. I don't know.
The Witcher is $60 damn.
Yep, on a cart.
And it should be $60 worth because there's a 32
exactly. It comes with
that
everything.
game should not be $60. That game's too old to be $60.
Baron, come on.
That's a whole other topic.
It comes with all the DLC too.
I'm sorry, that game is too old. What's the price of that game on PS4 right now? Is it still $25?
It doesn't matter. It's 32 gigs.
It's 40. It's 40.
It does matter because the game is 4 years damn old.
No, but
the Flash alone costs $60.
I don't give a damn what the Flash costs. I don't
supply demand.
Product
pricing, dude. Product pricing.
Overwatch is almost about as old as as the Witcher.
Overwatch is not $60.
That's true, but Overwatch.
But it comes with nothing.
That's true, but it comes with 3 months of Nintendo Switch Online, so it does come with that. But it's a multiplayer game, so I guess maybe you can play it for more hours. Maybe I mean, you get a lot of hours out of both games. I think it's really based on what you like. I mean, some people don't like multiplayer MOBA type shooters. Then obviously don't get Overwatch. If you like single player and RPGs, then you get Witcher. They're very different games, so it's hard to compare them and say which one to get. I mean, like it depends on what you like.
I talked about this when they first announced it. I said since it's on the bigger cart, they're probably going to charge full price that Switch tax, which I did not agree with because the game is too old to be that price. I don't agree with how Capcom been pricing Resident Evil either. It should not be that high. It's just simple.
I have a quick question, Baron. All right, when Skyrim came out on the Switch, with all the DLC and everything, did you think it was worth $60? In the first year of the Switch's life cycle?
That game is old as hell. That game
it comes with all the DLC.
Wait, hold on. What are we basing price off? We basing off the price of age, of actual cost to make the product.
I'm basing it off of what does it cost on the other competing console.
But yo, hold on.
Why are you basing it on that?
Yeah, because they didn't develop it for Switch when they developed it.
That's how much it is.
The Witcher 3 is $40.
But yo, dude, I gotta call you out. I gotta call you out for a second because you was just addressing the business side with this whole protest. Let's address the business side of the price of this game.
I said
exactly.
I just said I agreed. I knew the game was probably going to be more because it's on a 32 gig card, and I said I still don't agree with it because the game should not cost that much.
But why not?
But the thing about it is
that's not the price of the game anymore.
But you need to make your money back.
It was being sold as low as $25 at one point.
Okay,
Black Friday. It's the only time.
If it launched on Switch 4 years ago, I get that. It should be $20 or something now. But it didn't.
Here's my thing: new releases should be $60 damn.
Okay.
The only
it's a new release.
The only company that get away with that is Nintendo because their games start at 60 and they never drop from 60. So that's a whole different situation. But that's not a new release, so it should not be 60.
I personally feel it's a very subjective thing.
I've always said that though.
Yeah, it's really subjective because PS4 and Xbox One offer different things. So in terms of price, some people might say, I really value, if you're somebody who's traveling a lot, I really value being able to play the game anywhere that I want. Obviously, it's way more valuable than the freaking PS4 that just stays stuck, or you do some stupid remote play crap that people were trying to show me with The Witcher with the back touchpads as buttons. You know what I'm saying? You do some stupid thing like that. You know what I'm saying? Or you buy a whole other system to get what you get with Switch. I mean, if you have everything on a 32 gigabyte cartridge, which is freaking impressive, it's the only game here in the West that's been released that has everything on that. Some people might say, hey, it's worth it for me because I can play it anywhere that I want. So I think it's really all just kind of subjective. To me personally, I mean, I bought The Witcher at 60 on the Xbox One, and I don't even I don't like it as much, so I know I regretted that one. I'm doing this for review when it comes down to it, but I think it's really subjective, so it's kind of hard to argue. But I do agree with Baron just a bit. It's like the prices should be somewhat aligned. I mean, it'd be nice if it was. I mean, Overwatch is a bit cheaper. The PS4 and Xbox One versions, I think those have been as low as like $20 at times, but then they're kind of like $25, $33 for everything, the Legendary Edition. So, I mean, it is what it is, guys. I mean, that's not one of the things. I guess we should move on.
I was about to say I would agree with Baron if they ported Witcher 3 to Wii U. But instead,
why does it matter if it's Wii U or Switch?
because this game had to be redesigned to run under 11 watts.
Yeah,
it's not the same game at all.
All right.
I think you also run into a problem maybe with paying the people doing the ports. You know, it's not cheap, so
that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, because
I don't think it matters because people want to boycott Overwatch. I think boycotting Overwatch is the dumbest thing you could do.
I got a video. I got a video tomorrow morning.
I think supporting that game is probably the smartest thing you can do for the future of third-party support on Nintendo Switch. Just like y'all supported Mortal Kombat 11 and NBA 2K and the rest of those games. Because I think that's just dumb. Because the reasoning is dumb. So it's just dumb.
Can we say we got 400 people watching though?
We got about 400 people.
I think it's because we had that heated debate about
We got that is a new record for the people.
We gotta fight more.
No, we need 5 more. Hey guys, we need 5 more people watching. You guys,
it went 400. It went 400. I'm seeing it right now. It went 400.
Okay, 400. Yo, that is a record. Thank you guys for coming out to the stream tonight.
And you know what? You know what? Y'all done got me hot. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm buying Overwatch tonight on Switch.
There you go. There you go. Go ahead and do it.
I'm a Paladins digital.
But I'm buying Overwatch tonight because y'all didn't sit up here. Y'all got me.
No, I'm gonna get it. I thought about not getting it, but then I did some digging. I talked to some people. I talked to some industry people, which refused to be named, by the way. Some friends that I have, and I changed my mind because the whole dynamics of this whole thing is it's gonna hurt. I think what Baron's saying, it's gonna hurt us more than it helps Blizzard. Blizzard, I don't think is making anything off of this Overwatch port.
That's what I'm saying.
This is literally happening because the fans wanted it, you know, not because Blizzard's trying to make. They're not trying to make like a billions of dollars off a Switch on this. They're not going to. They already make a gazillion dollars off of idiots who buy loot boxes all day on PS4 and Xbox One.
All about the loot boxes.
And PC and the PC players.
And so what this will do is, if you boycott it now, it might affect not just Switch, but whatever Nintendo does for 10th gen in the future.
Exactly.
So if there's another future Blizzard game or whatever, they're gonna be like, "Oh well, your fans kind of screwed us."
Because not only that, like since you have more, since you got
go ahead, man.
No, I'm gonna say since you got games like DC Universe and everything, Blizzard. If this so well, Blizzard could think about bringing games like World of Warcraft over to the Switch. You never know.
Yeah,
you got games like Warframe, a whole bunch of other games. Blizzard just may do it to say, you know what, let's bring this over to the Switch.
Yeah.
So there's that to consider. So I can see the point where it can hurt the consumer more. And I would say if it's your vocation to boycott Overwatch, then do so. Don't support Blizzard, don't support Activision. And don't buy their products. And I would say raise awareness in your circle and do that.
Don't buy all Chinese products then. Then I think it should be more than just video games. Then don't buy.
Somebody said that in the chat.
Yeah, then don't buy any Chinese products.
Good luck.
So,
good luck.
It's just that
this glass made in China.
A lot of stuff is made in China, so y'all gonna have a problem with trying to do that.
This webcam is probably made in China.
Much stuff is made in China. Are you guys willing to completely boycott them? Completely boycott everything that has any ties to China?
Hold up.
You got Switch. You got boycott. I'm about to say you got boycott Nintendo in that case. Because real talk, these conversations happen every day behind closed doors. We just don't hear about it. There's things that companies do that we would not find morally pleasing. Every single company, including Nintendo, every single company has these things that we may not know about.
Might have to boycott
Foxconn
Nintendo.
Made the Switch. Foxconn is a sweatshop, straight up. But what are you gonna do about it?
So
you bought a Switch.
iPhone's right. iPhone's gone.
iPhones too.
I bet half of this stream in the chat got iPhones right now.
I got a Switch. Here go my iPhone right here.
I got Samsung. So
if y'all knew what it took to make them damn iPhones.
Also, Nintendo has big ties with Tencent too. I mean, they got Arena of Valor. They've got the Chinese launch. You know what I'm saying? They've got big ties too. So
they got a Pokemon game in the pipeline soon too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of and a lot of these companies, are like. They don't want to lose that money because they're capitalistic. Like I said, if this was In-N-Out would be like, well, screw them then. You know what I'm saying? Because In-N-Out don't give a damn.
They do their own thing all the time.
In-N-Out do their own thing. They've been trying to be bought out for. In-N-Out could be a $1 company. They could expand.
They really could be.
They could expand to the East Coast. They can do all sorts of stuff.
I wish
they're legendary.
Let me drop another truth bomb too. That means damn near everybody. I want to say everybody in the chat, everybody is going to watch this in the future, and everybody that's on this stream with me right now, we will all be hypocrites because if you ever step foot in a Walmart, that's 99% Chinese products. That company exists because everything they make from China, they copy what we make here and they make it cheaper. And there's a Walmart brand for everything. Those were vast majority were made or manufactured some type of way in China. Even if it's just the labeling, it was made in China.
Well, it's selective here, and that's what some people in the chat are kind of like, oh well, I mean, and I get it, I understand. You guys can spend your money on what you want to. You guys can boycott what you want to. I think everybody here, you guys all have freedom of choice. The thing is that it's selective. We're picking this and we're boycotting this. Oh, by the way, we're probably gonna buy other Chinese products, but we're gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? It's like selectively picking on this, and which, like I said, Blizzard isn't.
And you can't.
Blizzard isn't going to make it. Like, they're not going to make a bunch of money off the Switch version of the game. I mean, it's really not. All it really goes down to is Iron Galaxy. Iron Galaxy is the company that gets hurt. They're the port studio that's been busting their butt doing, and like I said, I'm going to talk about this more in my video, because I did some digging and I talked to some people.
That's a good studio too.
All that's going to happen is Iron Galaxy is going to be like, crap, we're not going to get paid like we were supposed to get paid. And Iron Galaxy did nothing. So if anything, this is hurting Iron Galaxy more than anything. But like I said, I'll talk about it more. In the video, but I mean, because it's really not, because the people who are playing on PS4 and Xbox One are going to continue playing on PS4 and Xbox One. They're going to continue buying their loot box on those systems. They're going to continue doing all that. All it does is just hurt Switch owners and hurt what's going on there. I mean, like, but hey,
I agree with OJ. All I gotta say, I've had it up to here with this fake outrage stuff. This stuff gets on my nerves now.
Oh, it happens every day. It happens on Twitter.
It happens every other day.
Squid has a good point, though. Squid has a good point, and I think that's what some people are trying to say here. Maybe we're not getting. They says it's one thing to buy things made in China, but some would argue it's another thing to support a company who penalize someone for speaking out in favor of basic human rights. So
he was penalized for breaking a contract, though. You can't.
People are not understanding that. I don't.
What about Martin Luther King then?
That's a moot point.
Oh, come on, bro.
That's a moot point.
That's not the same thing.
That's the moot point.
Human rights are human rights, though, Baron.
No.
You are right about the business aspect, but human rights are human rights.
No, human rights are human rights. But Dr. King, first of all, Dr. King Jr. stood up and had his own stuff where he could speak on his own platform. He sacrificed his life every single day and walked streets where he could have been killed on sight and justified. And let's get that straight right now. No. Hold up, VC. Let's get that straight right now. He could have been killed on sight. This kid could not have been killed on sight. So let's not compare the two.
No, but I think what VC's trying to
straight up.
What VC's
let me
say
this real quick.
What VC's trying to say here is that there were people who were penalized for speaking in favor of jobs, white people, Hispanics, whatever, mainly white people that were fired, that had their houses, destroyed, whatever the case is, for speaking in favor. So he's trying to say, where do you want to be on the morale side? When this is all said and done, what side do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side that was just, or the side that was not saying anything?
Okay.
But here's the thing, man.
We're not, none of us. Okay, let me say this right now. Shadow Fox, Baron, OJ, VC. Does anyone disagree with human rights for Hong Kong? Does anyone agree with the civil rights? Is everyone for Hong Kong having fair civil rights? Yay? Everyone yay?
Yeah.
Everyone yes? We're all yes?
Obviously.
Okay. Case closed. It's not the same conversation. No one here is saying that. We're simply being objective and saying, well, we can understand your money being taken away for that because you did sign your name on something. That's all we're saying. That I don't see how that is an argument. No one is against what he did. No one on this panel is against what the kid did. Everyone supports what he did because Hong Kong should have proper civil rights.
I want to break it down in a simple and so we can get off this real quick. It's the simple fact that a rule is put in place to avoid certain things from happening. And this is what Blizzard wanted to avoid from happening. So if you knew this rule was in place and you signed your name on a dotted line knowing this rule was in place, then at that point, you suffer the consequence. A prime example is Josh Gordon in the NFL. He know he can't smoke weed. But the man kept smoking weed and he kept getting damn suspended.
Well, let me
but he knew he could not smoke weed.
You know what
but
the
he
hell?
kept getting suspended.
You know what the hilarious?
It doesn't matter that it's shown that weed can have very great health benefits. Weed can kill cancer. It doesn't matter. All that doesn't matter because the contract says you can't smoke weed and you signed it. That's it.
I like all the 420 references in this podcast.
Unless you're Percy Harvin or Calvin Johnson. And Percy Harvin literally said that he smoked before every game. It was high at every single game. And
Yo, Rob Van
Harvin
Dam
played
was
in the
high
NFL
all
for
the time he wrestled too. So,
8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
And like I think Calvin Johnson also said, "Oh yeah, I was high between like Calvin."
Yeah,
Johnson.
some people got away with it, but the thing is, if they got caught, they knew what their consequences were.
Oh, you got away with it all right.
So I mean, Percy Harvin definitely had somebody in the Seahawks organization that was definitely helping him out with that situation.
He was on the Vikings too, and he didn't get caught on the Vikings. He didn't get caught on the Seahawks. Seems like they were after Josh Gordon's, but anyway.
But that's just a good example. Like, you know what the rule is, and you break it intentionally, regardless of what the positive effects are of you breaking that rule. You still broke the rule. You have to be disciplined.
I guess
it's just simple as that.
I think he's a victim. I think people were just blowing shotguns everywhere he went. Everywhere he went, somebody persistently blowing a shotgun. He's just perpetually unlucky.
I'm gonna say this. It's like I'm reading the chat. You guys are taking y'all taking out comments way out of context. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
It's the thing about it is this. It's that it's a morality line. It doesn't matter what we say. It's either you're with us or against us. That's pretty much what some. It's either you got to be one way or your other way. Either these people.
I'm my way then.
It's one way for some people in the comments. It's one way or another way. There's no in between. There's no like kind of waffling in between and stuff like that. So I mean, like I said, I'm seeing it from as a content. We're all content creators, you know, and we can say our opinions. But for me, it's objectively. I got to speak objectively on these. I can give my opinion. We all agree that this is horrible.
We can all give our opinion, yeah.
You know, but at the same time,
I think we're all on the same page, though.
We really are.
We're looking at it as in like, if you're in this situation, like let's say you're in, you know, they probably shouldn't have done all the banning for it. Like I think that's where a lot of people are also having a problem. Is like they're the backlash. You know, that's
and I said that already. And if everyone who's there, I've actually said that initially. Yeah. I said that initially. It's just that when you are speaking objectively, it's like you have productive discussions when we're speaking objectively. Nothing's going to get solved. Yeah.
Let's make sure before we move on to the last thing. Also, this isn't a free. I've heard people say free speech. His free speech actually wasn't blocked or impeded on. Free speech is with government. So he wasn't arrested. He wasn't tased. He wasn't thrown in jail.
Shot.
He wasn't handcuffed. That's what free speech means, guys. It means that nothing's going to happen to you with law, government. But private corporations, there is no such thing as free speech.
They have the right to retain what they want.
Just like there's no such thing as free speech in my chat. You say racist things, you say dumb things, you're gone. You can't just say whatever you want, whenever you want. So there's no such thing. This isn't a free speech thing, guys, okay? It's not it has nothing to do with free speech because the dude didn't get arrested. Now, if there was some type of law where like, oh, Blizzard sent the FBI after him and tried to arrest him, then obviously, yeah, that's a free speech problem. But that's not what.
And the back of what OJ's saying and what makes me so hot about the situation, y'all mad at Blizzard. Y'all more mad at Blizzard for penalizing somebody who broke a rule and broke a contract than y'all mad at Rockstar for sending goons to some streamer's house. Like, come on, man.
Nintendo fired a girl that was she said something off the cuff and she wasn't even working at the time.
No, she was moonlighting as a prostitute.
Hey man, hey look, but it is what it is. They sent her straight to the house. And I'm like, and look, there was no rule against moonlighting though.
As a prostitute?
But then they should have had a contract that said no moonlighting.
It was rumored, and I actually did a video on that, and I dug really deep into it and did some. I knew
she was working at night. I didn't know she was working at night.
I'm gonna shake your hand. She was working as a. I don't want to get back into that, but no.
A lady of the night.
Yeah, she was, and like what I found was that, and basically was that the same tattoos that she has that she's seen was the exact same tattoos in this person's profile for her job, which once again I don't have a care. I don't care if she's moonlighting as a prostitute. I don't care what people do. If you want to do that, that's fine. You can do that. It is what it is. But I mean, like Nintendo, it looks bad on the company, right? So the company has every right to remove you, right?
Yeah.
Like if they don't, hey, we don't want somebody that's a prostitute
for any reason
to represent our company, you know. it was okay for them to do that. But yeah, Rockstar did send some goons. But let's get through some of these donations. Then we're gonna.
No, you just say that again. A gaming company sent a group of thugs, goons, and thugs to scare a streamer, and there wasn't no outrage over that. But you outrage over this.
This man's channel disappeared, dude. He's gone.
That's crazy. A gaming company sent the goons to this man's house. I don't think y'all understand the magnitude of that.
I would have been on the news that night. I'm just telling you straight up.
There was no outrage for that.
Try me, Rockstar.
Y'all was more outraged with Rockstar laying off people because they had to make cuts than them sending goons to somebody else.
They were probably just some coffee people. The people who bring coffee every day. They
were goons, dude.
They would have got some coffee that night.
I heard they were goons, like straight up suit goons. You know what I'm saying? Like
suit and tie, black shades goons.
Yeah, exactly. Those type of goons. Like, wait a minute, is that FBI? Is that Secret Service? Is that you don't even know who it is? You know what I'm saying? Like those type of goons. Like, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. But all right, well, I think that was a good discussion, guys. We have some more donations that came. So let's go ahead and get those. Matthew Campos donated 2 and says, "Love Baron and his content, but hard disagree with him on the Blizzard subject. Can't say I feel sorry for a multi-million-dollar company. I think multi-million-dollar company favoring an authoritarian government and flexing on a player who was using his platform to bring attention to a crisis." So,
can I ask a question?
No, you can't. Matthew Hammond donated donated $3.
I'm going to ask a question.
No, you can't, Barry.
No,
you said what you had to say.
Donation.
One last question. Man.
Okay, this is the last one.
Last question. Okay, that person can feel like that, but my question is everybody that's saying they siding with the boycott of Blizzard. So what about Iron Galaxy? What should they do?
What should happen with a different game?
So just to hell with the work they just did.
Yeah.
Basically.
Who did? But Blizzard did the ban, right?
Wow.
Blizzard took the money.
See, and that's where I disagree.
Just wow, man. That's what's wrong with gamers today. This is why politics needs to stay out of sports and entertainment.
I don't think Iron Galaxy should be punished because
they shouldn't be punished for Blizzard shit.
Like they should just make more games. They had nothing wrong. They've been doing pretty well already for all their ports so far. So
yeah, I know, but
it's not their fault. They got wrapped up in Blizzard's BS.
They could be relying upon this money though on this port to keep the lights on and feed their kids.
Alpha Dream was relying on those 2 remakes. Look how good that
has nothing to do with the situation.
But they about to hold the L if they boycott this game.
That's the problem that I have is that it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna get it, like you're thinking that you're hurting Blizzard, but it seems like you're hurting Iron Galaxy more so than anything.
Yeah, you would be.
And someone just said Iron Galaxy can find work with another company. Simple. It's not that simple.
It's not that simple. Games take years to make.
It's not that simple.
Yes, they do take years to make, but you guys make it like they aren't working on stuff right now, though.
So y'all literally
what are you
telling
thinking?
me that all the hard work and hours they put in for the last year or so making this, it's probably more than that.
All right.
Well, just to hell with it.
Okay, so you know what? They're working on other games. So let's miss paychecks now. Let's miss paychecks and not get paid because, hey, they're working on other games, so it's okay. That's essentially what some people are saying. Okay, that's fine. You guys aren't in this situation, so I get it. It's easy to just say, oh, well,
it's easy to say that when you're not the one working for the company.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, you miss paychecks. You know, since it's not you missing the paycheck, it's okay. But all right, I get it.
Let me take a year and a half worth of your paycheck. See how you feel about it.
That's the thing. It's like you have to think about the other people, the innocent people involved who may miss out on a paycheck. It's like that's the stuff that you have to consider too.
Here's the thing with Switch ports, guys. A lot of the money that's why I said I did some digging. A lot of these money that these companies make is based off of how you get paid during it, and then you get incentive based. But like I said, I got a video coming, so I'll talk about it. But it's incentive based afterwards. You get percentages of sales. You get
royalties.
paid throughout it, but based on if your game doesn't sell, you're not gonna make much money after that. They pay you through the process, but your game's gotta sell in order for you to actually make some money. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I dug into it. I researched it a bit. I talked to some people. I found out some numbers here and there. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm
done with this time.
Yeah.
Let's
all
talk
right.
about some
So
NPDs.
let's continue on. We'll get the rest of these donations, guys. And you guys are not going to respond back to what these glorious.
I'm done with this topic, OJ.
Don't
let's
respond
see
to this, Baron.
Matthew Hammond donated $3 $2 and says the second episode of South Park this season goes into detail of how media companies are being censored because they want to enter the Chinese market. People complain about Sony censoring games, but China is and will be worse. Okay. Brian Jedi donated $1.99, says food for thought. Him speaking did bring awareness. Hey, that's true. Right? We're all talking about it. Matthew Campos donated $2 and says Kaepernick kneeling is nice and all, but he should just throw a football. That's basically what Baron is saying.
Oh,
Wait,
really?
It's
nowhere near what I'm
I told you guys nobody. I told you guys just smile and say okay.
The problem when Tebow did it, so I don't want to hit.
Kudo Tengetsu donated $5. Says sorry Baron, but you are wrong. Switcher dominates Overwatch, one of the greatest modern RPGs. 100 hours of awesome
Overwatch, I think it's
Witcher is better than Overwatch.
What that got to do with anything? Okay,
They were trying to say Overwatch.
From
Based on
before,
what-
where we
based on
were
what
talking
you were
about
saying
Witcher
between-
and Overwatch ports too. Let's talk about that as well.
Yeah, he was because this was 18 minutes ago.
I mean, they both good ports. So
TCRX donated $1 and says, "Player, since I am a AA nurse, African American nurse, and I trauma surgeon, I worked with saved a black man's life after multiple gunshots by performing additional surgeries than the national average to save a life. Save the life. The chief surgeon said to not take the patient back to surge. So, yo, shout outs there, man. Congratulations on that one, man. You should feel good about yourself that you're out there saving lives." Juice Man Vaughn donated $2 and says, "Can we talk about the NPD now?" Absolutely right. Good segue. We can talk about the NPD. Shout outs to all 400 something of you guys watching. You guys hit that like button. We don't have enough people hit that like button though. Hit that like button. And we're gonna get into these NPDs, man. Baron, your favorite topic. Jordan's not here to guess the NPD.
Yeah, man.
Fanboy Wars, let's go.
I guess we should start with how much the Switches sold. 15 million here in the US. Baron,
That's crazy.
15
In
million?
2 years.
2.5.
This is
But yeah, that's
crazy.
still
2.5.
great.
The
That's
PlayStation
amazing.
5 is coming early.
2.5. How?
Yeah,
how-
2.5.
Yeah, that's 2.5.
Because
It's March.
It'll be
right?
3
Yeah.
in
It'll be 3 in
March.
March. So 2.5 years. That's still basic,
Amazing.
too. That's still
Yep.
It's
ridiculous.
still amazing, regardless. Yeah.
That puts it at what, 45 million? Was that put it at right now? Worldwide?
It puts it at. Here's what we do know. We know that Japan is about at 10 million. About let's just say Japan about 10 million. We know that Europe is at 10 million, and we know
Yeah.
that US is at 15 million. That's what officially has been stated. Now, of course, there's other areas and regions, like there's the rest of Asia. You know what I'm saying? There's other parts, like there's
South America.
There's South
There's still-
America. There's all sorts of other parts, right? We have Australia. We have, I think, what's
People in
Australia?
Antarctica, the 5 people who live there.
Penguins, baby. Penguins in Antarctica. So if you total up everything,
Scientists.
it does seem like it's probably like 40, early, early 40s. You know what I'm saying? Early
Yeah.
40s. Seems
Definitely
like
early 40s.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
like around there. But yeah, it's a pretty big install base to be working with. Pretty big install base to be working with. We have the NPD sales with different games as well. So we're gonna go over that. So the top 10. These are just the Nintendo Switch charts. So I want to get to the full charts here. Why is this dude doing just? Okay, here we go. Okay, dude, there's so many charts here. All right, so NBA.
We don't have Jordan here, man. We don't
Yeah,
have Jordan.
NBA 2K20 was number 1. Borderlands 3, your favorite game too, Baron, number 2. FIFA 20 was number 3. The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening was number 4 without digital, so they made sure to make a little asterisk with that. Madden NFL 20 was number 5, another one of Baron's favorite games. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint was number 6. Gears 5 was number 7. Code Vein, which kind of surprised me a bit, was number 8. NHL 20 was number 9. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or just Mario Kart 8, because the Wii U version, I guess, still sells a little bit. That was number 10. Minecraft was number 11. Grand Theft Auto was number 12. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was number 13. Spyro Reignited Trilogy was number 14. Red Dead Redemption 2 is number 15. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege is number 17. That's the 6 out of 10 that just stays around. Plants vs Zombies is Battle for Neighborville, number 17. Marvel Spider-Man, number 18. Catherine, number 19. And Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, number 20. Once again, digital sales not included. Steam digital sales not included. Minecraft digital sales on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are included. So then no Switch sales on that one. No 3DS sales on that one, digital and stuff.
Man, shout out to Gears 5, man. That's the only first-party game that's not from Nintendo that stays on the charts.
Marvel Spider-Man. That one's kind of hanging around. It's hanging on by
Yeah,
By a thread.
that game keeps
But it's
keeps
pretty
getting
old.
on sale. So yeah, that
That's
game keeps.
I'm about to say
getting on.
Spider-Man is a little bit of a different
Yeah,
scenario.
they keep putting that game on sale,
Yeah.
all the time.
I would say
and the bundles are counted.
the NPD in terms of console sales, Switch won. Some people are asking like who won. I guess.
Yeah, Switch won.
Switch.
Switch was
Yeah.
the top selling system.
I'm like,
Been
what,
10 months straight.
Sony beat the Switch in January, I think.
No, it hasn't beat it this year. It beat it last year. I think
October. October is last month.
October last year. Okay,
Yep.
I knew it had beat it for like two months straight, I think, and then it went
Yeah,
back
September
to
and October. Yep,
yeah.
that was one.
Well, because they have
But
Spider-Man.
one thing I want to mention though about the list is Untitled Goose Game is on the list because it was digital only. So I think we can come to
gotta play
think
this
that it
game.
has to be above Link's Awakening. It's been on the eShop chart best sellers list a month straight ahead of Link's Awakening. So
Sales wise, it's
Well,
above
here's-
Link's Awakening.
yeah, it has to.
No, because like this is because of physical sales. There's no physical version of Goose Game. They said that
Yeah,
Goose Game
it
sold.
probably didn't get there.
Yeah, they said Goose Game sold 100,000 units. That's what they said. I guarantee you, Link's Awakening destroyed 100,000 units from when they said Goose Game sold that.
That is true. That's true. Yeah, I just thought because it's been on the eShop chart ahead of Link's Awakening for the whole time Link's Awakening has been
Zelda
out.
sold a million.
Trust me. This month is a little bit misleading because
Oh yeah, it's
you
definitely-
had a lot of new releases, and you know the ones that are on multiple platforms are going to accumulate a lot of numbers, and
Yeah.
that's why NBA 2K is number one. Which
Unfortunately, it's number one.
I'm actually
yeah.
shocked that it's number one. That was actually shocking.
Me
But
too.
I'm surprised NBA 2K19 ain't still on the list. The way people still buy it. But
well, it went on sale, and then once 2K20 is a note that I don't think OJ seen. NBA 2K20 is now the best-selling game of 2019.
that's crazy.
Yeah, there was that. No,
That
yeah,
is ridiculous.
And
That's how many copies
literally
that game
19
sold.
with a reskin.
You know
That
the reason
game
why
sold
NBA.
that much.
You know the
in-
reason
in-
there's
in
no
the-
competition. There's zero competition.
Yeah, no one at all. No
so
NBA Live.
EA
nothing.
had live, like they showed a demo. What was it? 3 years ago? What are they doing?
Well, it's bad, and on top of that, like NBA 2K20, you have to look at it this way. With, I think it goes kind of into VC's realm, hip hop, rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
NBA has such an influence over today's youth. How cool these kids are, the shoes and everything. This is they ask their parents, get me an NBA. They see LeBron, they see Kobe, they see Jordan, they see all these guys, and basketball is so popular in the US. It's insanely popular. And that's the reason why Steph Curry gets paid $40 million a year. You know what I'm
Which is
saying?
insane.
But I'm
especially
saying
compared to
though,
other
nuts.
sports.
EA can recapture that though because they do the same thing with football, which is just as popular in the US. So
It is, but Madden isn't as seen as a highest quality game as NBA. In terms of the game, 2K is seen as a better game than Madden, so more people.
Well, there's more
buy
games.
it.
Right.
Well, 2K is getting kind of bad now.
Oh yeah,
But
with
it's-
all
but
the
19
better
is a
than
sweet
Madden.
spot.
Okay, you're right
19
about
is a sweet spot.
So here's a couple of more notes. Eight of the top 10 were new releases in September. So that can be so it's quite a few games that did well in September that did not chart because of these new games came out here and they're on multiple platforms. Two of those games being three of them being Mario Maker 2, Astral Chain, and Dragon Quest 11. Because I think Nintendo put out a list of the top selling eShop games in September, and those were like three of the top ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So under Link's Awakening. So and plus Nintendo games don't get the digital count either. So it wouldn't be shocked. And with the news that Doug Bowser put out today, that 14 Switch games has sold over 1 million alone in the US. So I'm pretty sure that some of those, three of those, probably all two of those games is on one of those 14.
I'm kind of frustrated with that release schedule though, because what's going to happen is we just saw the calamity that was July, August, and September, right?
Yep.
Then in February and March, there's going to be nothing published by Nintendo.
You may as well throw April and May in there too.
It doesn't make any sense.
Wait, what are you talking? I thought you don't like Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah.
Animal
comes out
Is that coming out in March?
End of
Yeah,
March.
that's March.
That is end of March.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I was
same
gonna say
day as,
February. Then I
Doom
guess.
and around.
And then you
Final
got-
Fantasy VII as well.
Usually
you
the
got-
spring is death for them.
Trials of Mana is April, I believe.
Well, that's my question. What do you think these 14 games that sold over 1 million in the US are?
A
He
million.
already
of them
gave
is one
six.
to
He already
Switch.
gave 6 of them away, which was the obvious ones like Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, Smash Ultimate, those games.
Well,
Mario.
Minecraft. It has to be like Minecraft.
1-2 Switch is one of them.
But it was 14 of them, so that's a
It's
lot.
got to be like Minecraft.
They're probably
It's-
first party games.
It's got to
Yeah.
be, man. What games did he say?
It's probably Mario and
No,
Rabbids
he
Kingdom
didn't
Battle.
go
It's
into the
definitely
14
one.
games. He only went into 6 of them that sold over 6 million. Let me pull that up real quick.
And that was the obvious Mario Kart, Zelda,
Mario Odyssey,
Mario Odyssey. What else we got?
Mario and Luigi, Mario and Rabbids. It's definitely one of them.
Mario
it
Rabbit
sold a
sold
lot.
over 4 million.
Yeah, I'm positive
Over
it sold
6
more.
million. No, I don't
Over
think that
six.
was one of them.
It's
I don't think that was
probably
one of them.
over. I know it's probably over 3. It's probably 3 million plus easily.
Yeah, it definitely
maybe
is.
4 million for that game. Because it went on sale. That's the thing. It went like $20 sale. Like
Multiple
multiple times on the eShop. I mean, you were able to get it in stores. It's been one of the better selling games, even though it's not on the NPD anymore. It's still a game that moves units.
Yeah, and with that DLC that came out literally this year.
Yeah,
I can't believe some of y'all still playing that damn game.
People are. I don't know how. I beat the game, but
All right, here's the 6 games that sold over. What was it? 6 games that sold. Where's it at? Okay.
6 million.
No, my bad. There's 4 games that sold over 6 millions in the US. So 4 out of the 14 that sold over 6 million. That's Mario Kart 8, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and Smash Ultimate. Okay, those were the obvious. Those were the obvious ones.
For some reason.
But now
What is
there's
wrong?
10 other games that sold over 1 million or more in US alone.
I don't. On the
One,
are
two
they
Switch
Switch
has to be
exclusives or
one of
just
them.
on Switch? Are they third party games too? Right?
No, they just said no, what is it? Did he say first party? No, he said 14 Nintendo Switch games in North America. So
Didn't, Tropical
he
Freeze
didn't
the other day?
specifically say Nintendo owned. No, he said it's 14 Switch games. Period. Overall games.
So I'm thinking he's
So
talking
it's-
third
so-
party too, right?
Yeah. So
Probably Mortal
Ten-
Kombat
ten of-
11. Probably Doom.
you think Mortal Kombat hit 1 million?
Mortal Kombat hit 11 on
think
the
so.
Switch fights. Dude, that.
I think Mortal Kombat 11 hit
In
a million.
US, okay. This
That'd be
this is 1 million sold in US alone.
It's
There's
got to be
10
some
of them.
indie. Okay, it's got to be some
It's
indie
10
games
of
too.
them.
Maybe.
No. These are retail. This is all retail. He's
Okay, well, some of these indie games
Maybe.
can like enter the Gungeon, something like that. Like that like sold like that sold like over 1 million on the Switch by itself.
I think that's
In
digital
the
and
US,
physical though.
Oh, well, yeah.
But he's talking about retail here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
enter
just
the
retail.
Enter the Gungeon's retail as well.
I don't think that's
that's
one of
a
the
million
I don't
I
think
think
retail,
that's-
MK11 might have got there. I don't
This is US alone though. I don't think
Yeah.
that's
All right, Baron, spill the beans. Let's go.
Spill the bean. No, he said Mortal Kombat 11. I don't believe it, but a lot of people did buy Mortal Kombat 11. I don't think
Yeah.
it hit 1 million.
The
People
chat-
bought that shit.
the
Well, we
chat's
know
saying
it's Fire Emblem Awakening. I say Fire Emblem Awakening. I know it's Fire Emblem 3 Houses. That has to be one of them.
It has to be. Yeah, I can see
I'm
that.
gonna say Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle has to be the second. one.
Yes.
But it's still 8 more, and I really don't know what those can be.
We said Astro
Tropical
Chain.
Freeze, maybe.
We
Oh,
said
my
Astro Chain,
My
right?
bad. 2K did confirm that NBA 2K18 was one of sold over 1 million on Switch.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
So
NBA
that's-
2K18 sold 1 million on Switch?
Yeah,
yeah,
it did.
yeah.
Yeah, it did. It was
It
a
was
launch
good.
game.
I bought that. That was a good game.
It was a launch game. People bought that
Oh
shit.
my god, dude! Like, come on.
19 was
Why
better.
are you laughing about it? It was good.
I'm laughing because there's stupid marketing of guys playing basketball. Freaking work, dude.
Of course it works.
Yeah,
It
so
worked.
2K did confirm.
Oh my
that.
god!
You know what game has the potential of selling over 1 million though on the Switch? Cuphead actually.
Oh
No,
yeah.
Cuphead probably
Easy.
sold over 1 million on Switch. Yeah,
But it has
by
to be
now, yeah.
retail though.
But I was
Cuphead
gonna say
wasn't
retail because I know a lot of people that bought it digitally.
Yeah.
So that's 7 games right there.
well, Cuphead didn't come out physical yet for the Switch. There's no physical version.
It didn't.
Not
I'm
yet.
gonna go ahead and say out of the 7 left, 2 of them is Astral Chain and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
So
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go all 3. I'm gonna go Astral Chain, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and Mario Maker.
I don't think Astral Chain's hit that yet. I mean, it just came out.
Oh, it had to. There's
It
no
had
way.
to. It had to hit over 1
The
million.
way it
Yeah.
ranked in August,
US. It had to.
It was on the eShop #1 all the way to like the 15th, and then it finally
It
dropped off.
definitely hit over 1 million.
There's
Okay,
no
well
way.
that's cool. I win a cool. I think I win a cool $50 if that's the case. So I'm happy with that. If that's it, man. You know, maybe. You know another game that maybe could be it. Dragon Ball Fighters.
That maybe because with the DLC they added and they still have to put Broly in by the end of the year, so that's possible.
It's been getting sales, you know, whenever it's $18 right now. I mean, Dragon Ball Fighters could be one of those games. Also, like Pokken Tournament, that could also be a game that is sold.
Splatoon 2.
This is like the worst guessing game ever because the US is so finicky. We have no idea what sold 1 million copies.
I'm really. You know what? I'm really thinking it might have been Mortal Kombat 11.
Skyrim.
I'm thinking it was because like that was a big release.
It was,
and
I know for sure Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Oh, Pokemon Let's Go, by the way, that's definitely one of them.
I know it did.
Pokemon. Let's Go for sure. Yeah, Let's Go.
Definitely.
Yeah, Splatoon 2, that's free. Mario Maker 2, free.
Forgot about Splatoon 2. That's definitely.
People are saying.
Splatoon 2 definitely.
If Octopath Traveler actually sold that, I think Square Enix they would have said something. You know.
Yeah.
They sold 1 million, but I think that's global.
Yeah, that's global, not America. Is this US only?
Sonic Mania. I think Sonic Mania for sure maybe sold 1 million on the Switch. That could be another one. Sonic Mania.
I just beat that game again.
You know what?
That's pretty.
You know what? Don't they do their quarterly report at October 30th or something like that?
It's
So we're gonna know what's sold anyway.
Not necessarily. They're
gonna update the million seller list.
Okay.
They always update the million seller list.
But they only do it to a certain cutoff point though.
Yeah.
Only the top 10. Only the top 10.
So if you got a game out there that sold 20 million, good luck for everybody else.
And matter of fact, I'm on that page right now. Like right now, you have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Odyssey, Smash Ultimate, Zelda Breath of the Wild,
Switch.
Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu TV, Splatoon 2. Then you got Super Mario Party, which is at 6.9 million itself. Then you got
buying that.
Then you got Super Mario Brother U. Then you got Mario Tennis Aces and 1-2 Switch. So it's like 1-2 Switch has 3 million
Tennis
copies.
Tennis Aces didn't sell 1 million alone in US.
1-2 Switch being at 3 mil is amazing. I never saw that game being that much.
Yeah, 1-2
I appreciate
Switch.
that. I just wish they extend that love to ARMS.
But you know what though? You know why 1-2 Switch is so that much? Because of that bundle deal they did with the Mario Tennis Aces bundle pack.
No, but
really? I didn't know they bundled it. They should have been bundled it.
But they bundled it for free. If you got Mario Tennis Aces point, you got 1-2 Switch for free. That's when that game shut up.
1-2 Switch was kind of selling hot even before that though. It was kind of
it was, but the price it shot up. It shot up with that bundle.
Okay.
So what are y'all predictions for a Ring Fit adventure then?
For what?
Ring Fit.
Oh, Ring Fit's gonna do well.
Ring Fit's gonna do real well.
They're gonna have to bundle it though.
1 million.
It's gonna do better in Labo. I know that.
1 million worldwide. I mean, at least minimum.
It's gonna do real well, but I'm just waiting to see what these new wave of games like. I want to see these newer games that are coming out towards the end of the year. Right? It looks like Pokemon's gonna be the holiday game, unless they surprise us with a new game, but with another direct. It looks like Pokemon's gonna be the holiday game for Nintendo this year.
Oh yeah, Pokemon's the big holiday game.
They been said it was the holiday game.
Yeah.
Where you been?
I've been working.
So is Bayonetta the holiday game next year, or they gonna do the Halloween thing?
No, Bayonetta's before Hall. I think Bayonetta's like October or something.
They may listen.
That's what I'm saying. Should they do
I don't think we're waiting a whole year for Bayonetta.
Why not?
I don't think so either. I think next year they're gonna probably surprise us with maybe.
I think Bayonetta
or something.
is a summer or spring release.
Yeah, Bayonetta's an August release.
August, like Marvel or like Fire Emblem, that type of deal.
Yeah, around that area.
Breath of the Wild 2 will be the holiday game for next year. Okay, that's a good one. I can see
so I'm pretty sure they'll be done with Bayonetta probably around January. So
which would be crazy.
It'll be up to Nintendo to decide where in the release window they want it to fit.
Oh no, they're gonna polish the hell out of that game.
Yeah, I mean they're just gonna whatever time they have left, they'll just use that to polish and then go from there.
Yeah, well,
it's just a weird.
And
I don't like the way Nintendo schedules releases. This is just so weird to me.
I love it.
They're doing a lot better than they did on the Wii U.
They're doing has been perfect.
Pikmin 4 is still sitting finished somewhere. Like what is happening right now?
I believe
It
that
is.
rumor was
You're
false, and y'all just fed into
No,
it.
it wasn't a rumor. Miyamoto said
No, Miyamoto said
I know Miyamoto said it, but maybe he was being sarcastic, bro.
Nah, it was done on Wii U. Done. Like done.
Ain't no way that game is done.
People who say that Miyamoto was talking about the Hey Pikmin game. So
No, he wasn't.
hopefully that's not the case.
He wasn't because that was during E3 where they were already showing Hey Pikmin. And he was talking about the next evolution in the Pokemon game is still in development.
Oh, I thought Hey Pikmin was the year after.
No, this was while they were showing it at E3. That when they asked them that, they were showing Hey Pikmin at E3.
I don't know what to tell you, but
Yeah, basically.
but I do know this. I do know this though. This is what I do know.
Oh God.
We taking home that Game of the Year award this year. I know that.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be Death Stranding.
That selective memory though, they're gonna be like,
If you say
Astral
that
Chain
shit
didn't
one more
come out,
time,
just like Xenoblade
I can see that
didn't
happening
come
too.
Yo, I could see it happening.
I don't
as
see it
well.
happening.
I'm
you know
telling
what?
you right now what I'm hearing, guys, and like I said, I can't say from who or what's going on. Dude, Death
I
Stranding.
don't give a
Death
damn
Stranding's
what
gonna
you
win Game of the
hearing.
Year.
It ain't
Near
happening.
Automata DLC is gonna beat out Astral Chain for Action Game of the Year
Dude, Nier's gonna win. If you're talking about the Game Awards, now other places, absolutely.
at the Game Awards.
If you're talking about other, there's gonna be other. Fire Emblem's gonna win Game of the Year from big publications. You're gonna get Astral Chain, that's gonna be Game of the Year. But if you're talking
Definitely.
the Keeley Awards, it's either gonna be Death Stranding or
Kiwi's in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally.
And that's his boy. Kojima's his boy.
It's
So
good.
I'm
That's
put you
literally
like,
gonna
I'm put you
win.
like this. I have utmost confidence because of the outstanding support I've seen when they tweeted about Game of the Year on Twitter. And I seen so much love for Fire Emblem and Astral Chain. I was like,
here's the problem.
is
The
it.
problem.
man, that's a lot of love for Xenoblade too.
The
And Xenoblade
That game came out.
Xenoblade didn't even get nominated.
The biggest
Yeah.
biggest problem is that Western journalists, they really like Western games. They really like Western games, and they're going to vote for Western games. And this is a Western show, so you're not going to have the support of weebs and all.
you
that
can
stuff like
say that,
You're
but
not.
Zelda won Game of
The
the
reason
Year.
why
That's
Zelda
different.
won because the show
different,
would have been a
Aaron.
complete fraudulent scam. If Zelda
had
didn't
to.
win,
Listen,
it was
They
the most,
had to
it's
hold
the
the
most
L.
innovative open world game in the past since
Okay, listen,
GTA 3
listen,
or
listen,
something? I don't know.
bro. We're in a similar situation here.
No, we're
I'm
not.
not saying no. Listen, let me finish.
Okay, my
We're in a
bad.
similar situation here.
Okay.
There is really no new game that is clear cut better as of right now than Astral Chain and Fire Emblem Three Houses.
And Baron,
It's just that simple.
I understand that, but
That's not
everybody,
objective, though.
Everybody,
There's no way.
everybody
It's
doesn't.
impossible.
Everybody doesn't.
And if Luigi's Mansion come out and does it just as good review wise,
Luigi's Mansion's
Bruh,
gonna
it's-
score high 80s. But like what I'm trying to say is that while we sit here, all of us Nintendo nerds, we like PlayStation, we like Xbox, we like other stuff too, but all of us, we have a different way of thinking than these journalists. Journalists can't beat Xenoblade. They have a difficulty doing that. Fire Emblem confuses them.
That's
They
true.
They just don't
Journalists
want to
can't
look
beat
hold
the
on.
stupid.
Cuphead tutorial
It's
too.
too
They just
hard.
don't want to look dumb, so therefore they say, oh yeah, Fire Emblem's great, I'm gonna vote for Death Stranding, or I'm gonna vote for the Star Wars EA game. It's the same reason why Dragon Age Inquisition beat out Bayonetta and beat out
OJ.
Smash Brothers.
OJ,
This is why I
OJ,
say that's not going to happen.
Those
again.
games aren't as intuitive. That's
But
their
you gotta
excuse when they
understand-
can't,
you
when they
gotta
can't play some
understand.
shit. It's not intuitive.
These journalists
Fire
they'll say
Emblem-
all the
Fire
right
Emblem
things,
and Astral Ch-
but when push comes to shove, Baron, they're gonna vote for the big PlayStation.
I don't think
game.
it's the same
They're
though.
gonna- It's
You
the
gotta
reason why
understand.
Nintendo
But
makes
Astral
the best.
Chain is
that's
gonna
not
be
the-
hard for
that's-
them.
Nintendo makes the best games in the
Astral
industry,
Chain
and
and Fire
never
Emblem
wins Game of the Year.
Three Houses is way different.
Listen,
it's way different. than-
Nintendo
than
makes the best games in
Xenoblade
the
2.
industry and never wins Game of the Year from the Game Awards. That was the one time. They make the best games in the industry. Like, a lot of people agree with that. They'll get Publisher of the Year, and then they'll never win Game of the Year. One time. And it took a Herculean effort from this game that obviously no one... It took
Herculean
biggest
effort.
It really did,
Well,
though.
it really was.
Odyssey got like best kids game or some shit.
Yeah, like
what?
Some bullshit. Yeah.
Well, it was
Well,
nominated.
Odyssey took the
nominated.
back seat because it was Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
That's the reason they took the back seat.
But if it came down to it for real, if you're talking about actual that year, if you're talking about the artistry, the development effort, and just the design know-how, like it should have been Odyssey and Breath of the Wild down the list on every category just about.
But it was
Agreed.
Real.
I mean,
was
they was
facts.
nominated for a lot of categories.
And I would say a lot more Odyssey than Breath of the Wild, to be honest with you. It's like
I
New
agree
Donk
with that.
City, bro.
Yo,
That was
whole
crazy.
game is
That was a
Come
well
on,
done
man.
city, though. I'll give you.
God, just imagine designing that. Imagine being a developer and they tell you, this is my end result. Go. You know how much work that takes?
Listen here, guys. The Keeley
I understand
Awards.
what y'all saying, but you're not listening to me.
No, Baron.
You're not listening
We're
to what's
telling
going
you
on.
this, dude. This is what we're telling
Listen,
you.
what
We're
I'm
bro,
telling
it's
you
the
about
Keeley
what they've
Awards.
been doing.
You don't understand these
I don't
Western
Exactly,
journalists.
it's the Keeley Awards.
These Western journalists, they'll sit there, they'll talk about how Nintendo games are great, and yeah, they like to play them. But when it's like when push comes to shove, it's like you siding with the brother next to you. You know what I'm saying? Or like, what are you gonna do? They're gonna side with the Western game. They're gonna side with the obviously Death Stranding isn't Western, but they're gonna side with the big PlayStation game.
But
they're gonna side. They're not
Just look
going
at the
to side
judge
with Nintendo.
list for the last 2 years.
They're just
Bruh,
not. And Fire
I'm
Emblem, the
looking-
graphics aren't good enough. You know what I'm saying? There's issues.
And this is why I picked Astral Chain.
Them feet
to be
in Fire
one, because Fire Emblem has that aspect about it that the people probably will try to downgrade it for. This is why I chose Astral Chain as the big one to actually have the bigger chance to take it home, because it just has the whole complete package of what these westernized people, as you say, like.
No,
and you know
it
what I mean?
doesn't.
And the game got reviewed
No,
well. So
they say that they say that just so they don't sound stupid.
here's the thing.
They
OJ.
played it on
This is
Unchained
why
and beat
I
it in
told you,
12
I said-
hours, then move the fudge off.
And they didn't even do all
Bruh,
the
I
cases.
told
They
you
did
this
none of
when
them.
they first talked about Death Stranding. I said Death Stranding has to score the same rating as Breath of the Wild to win Game of the Year. If it doesn't do that, there's no way it's going to happen, and it's not happening.
It can score 90 and win.
But
Game
he
of the
don't
Year.
care.
It's
Like
not
Keely
happening.
doesn't
Nope,
care.
It's not. It ain't going to happen.
Dragon
He don't
Age-
care. That's his boy.
Dude, Dragon. Look, listen. Bayonetta
Do you know how
has.
crazy that will look?
Look, listen. They say
Dragon Age was
He's
nominated.
in the game, bro. He's
Listen.
in the game, and Death Stranding reviews lower than the other games, and it wins Game of the Year. Do you know
Baron,
that would shut
It's
down
already
that whole damn
happened
show.
once before.
Baron, Western game journalists.
That will hurt his show a lot.
Western games.
He's
what
not
do-
gonna do that.
What do Western game journalists see Astral Chain as? They see it as, even though it's not Bayonetta, they see it as a Bayonetta style game. Bayonetta,
Japanese Bayonetta hard.
Devil May Cry. These
They
games, no
don't
matter
see
how.
it as that.
I'm
Devil
playing
May
Astral Chain
Cry,
right now.
Bayonetta-
What
Yeah.
reviews what y'all reading? And
No, I'm not. I'm saying
Say that.
perception. They're not saying that it is, because obviously they sound dumb, but perception is that way. So when push comes to shove, they will not vote for that game for Game of the Year. Just like Bayonetta did it, despite Bayonetta
gotta
should have won
understand.
Game of the Year, and
Yeah.
what
So-
it lost
won
to a
Game of the
game
Year,
that
but
was
Astral
rated
Chain is
below
not
it.
So
Bayonetta.
Baron, let's explain the logic. This is the process, right?
I'm playing the logic game. And
Keely
based on what
does
they
the
did
award
last
show.
year too. So
But Kelly does the award show, right? You know, because you were actually there.
I've been
But anyway, so he takes whatever prolific YouTuber or whatever prolific whoever the lead editor or whatever, or editor in chief from insert site here or whatever. He gathers all those people together and develops his panel and his judges, and then they sit down for however many weeks to decide how they're going to make this list. And those people, regardless of whether the sites they came from gave Astral Chain Game of the Year or gave them all these awards or whatever, those individuals that are in that room, they represent their own different view. And 9 times out of 10, their view is what OJ's talking about.
And I understand that. And these are the same people that had Breath of the Wild win. This is the same people that nominated games like Horizon Zero Dawn
Listen,
and
Barry,
Spider-Man.
Barry,
Well, they had
there's
no choice for Breath of the
They
Wild.
had
You
no
gotta
choice
understand-
for Breath of the Wild. Like I
Bruh,
said,
It was so
okay,
obvious.
Do you know
I
how
understand
fraudulent?
that, but you gotta understand they gotta protect their own credibility here.
But
This
their
is why
But they
credibility
not
won't
for
be.
Astral Chain.
They barely have
if
any
That's why I
credibility
said
to
they
begin
put
with.
themselves in the bind over the last 2
No.
years.
They
Now
got
have to
away
protect
with
their
the-
credibility this year.
They got away with
There's
it with
no way in
Bayonetta.
hell if you have a major fan support like Fire Emblem and Astral Chain is having, and you went in the last 2 years of what your nominees were in this game, Death Stranding, which is the only game that has the chance of stopping these two games. If this game does not rate higher than those games, you are now in a credibility situation.
No, okay.
There's no way you can get out of that.
What
Listen,
happened?
it's gonna be rated higher even if the game is worse, Baron. Let's get that out of the way right now.
Y'all
It's gonna be
need to
rated
stop.
higher
Y'all
regardless.
so delusional.
No, I'm
No,
not
listen,
delusional.
you don't understand.
No, we do
Baron,
have to
I'm
tell
on
you
your
how they
page. The
operate.
game
Y'all
is gonna be
being
bad,
delusional.
Baron,
but people are
do
gonna
you-
rate
do
it
you
high
read history?
anyway.
Baron, do you read history?
I read history of the Game Awards. So
okay, and do you think-
I see where this pattern is
Do
going?
you think
I'm
with
telling
video
y'all,
game does history
it's
repeat
going to
itself?
happen. Sometimes it do, but guess what? History also rewrites itself.
Zelda was the exception.
So
Zelda was a rewrite.
Exactly, and you know it, and you know
But
it.
Ze-
You know
but
it's
Zelda-
That
And you
doesn't
know
make
it's true.
sense. What the hell are you talking about?
What are you doing, Baron? What are you
Zelda
doing,
was a
dude?
rewrite because that game
History rewrite. What the fuck?
Zelda could not be ignored. So that they've been ignoring everything else, but Zelda could not be ignored.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you
That's
talking
how the game industry is. They ignore
listen,
Nintendo
y'all
all the
saying
time.
Y'all saying that. That's true because Zelda is that iconic franchise like that. And I'm telling you, this year you don't have that. You don't have that franchise that stands like that. You don't have that God of War. You don't have that Red Dead Redemption. You don't have that Breath of the Wild.
All it has to do is match Dragon Age Inquisition with the review score, and it can
Exactly.
be. That's all it has to do.
No,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Game-breaking bug at the beginning of that game. Nomination.
It won it.
Exactly.
Dragon Age Inquisition was a damn near unanimous
Facts.
game of the year from. I played that stupid
Game-breaking
game.
bug at the very beginning.
And
Bayonetta
people think that these
absolutely
awards aren't
crushes
fraudulent.
Dragon Age Inquisition, unless you like elves and Lord of the
I
Rings, and you go in there
understand
wearing
that, but that
dun-dun-dun.
was-
I get it if
listen,
you like
OJ.
that. But
OJ,
Bayonetta is a much better game, in my opinion.
Bro,
That's facts.
Trust me, I
OJ.
know that.
You're
I told
right.
you that was the biggest highway robbery
Bayonetta
ever
got
in the history.
got bodied at the 2014 Game Awards.
Dragon
Smash
Age
Brothers
wasn't even
got
the best
bodied at the Game
RPG
Awards.
that year.
Dragon
Bruh,
Age
but-
Inquisition, a game that has no business winning Game of the Year.
Not even RPG.
It has no business winning
Not
Game
even
of the
this
Year.
category.
No business. You're trying to tell me that
man.
Kojima, if a Kojima game gets an 87, 88, which is what Dragon Age Inquisition was, you're trying to tell me that's not going to win Game of the Year over Astral Chain?
Listen,
a game that
listen,
was
yeah, okay.
less heralded than Bayonetta 2? Baron, you're delusional.
Listen, no, you're delusional because things have changed since that catastrophe of that highway robbery of Bayonetta 2.
Nah, people still just hate on
Things have
Nintendo
changed.
just for the fun of it.
I
Like,
kn-
What has
listen,
changed? What has
we
let me hear.
understand that.
What has changed? What has changed?
You know what I'm saying? Their process of how they nominated stuff changed since then. You know what I mean? If we going by the same way they was thinking in 2014, God of War wouldn't have won last year. Red Dead Redemption would have won.
No, but God of
You
War.
know what I mean?
God of War
But
was
God
the
of
Western.
War won. though.
God of War was the Westerners' Breath of the Wild, though.
Not really, because
It
people
was.
really love that's what showed me last year that some of the thinking has changed.
No.
Because people was way more on to Red Dead Redemption than God of War.
No. God of War.
But
Red Dead Redemption didn't change the.
I think certain individuals just wanted Sony to win that year.
No, God of War. Here's the thing.
God of War. So
God of War.
God of War was legendary though.
God of War, what I mean by it was the Breath of the Wild, it was that it completely changed the style of the game and was rated extremely high. If you completely change the style, innovation within what you do before, and you rate that high, you will win over a game that plays it safe or stays the same and can be rated higher, which is what they said with Bayonetta, which is what they said with Smash Brothers. Those games were rated higher than in Dragon Age Inquisition, but Dragon Age Inquisition, apparently to them, that year, was enough of a change within the franchise, despite it being rated lower, still won for the Keeley Awards. This is how these Western people think. They can
And
literally
Astral
sit
Chain
there and
is-
give Bayonetta 2 Game of the Year in their office, then vote for Dragon Age Inquisition when it comes.
And they're like, Xenoblade didn't come out
gave
this
me an
year.
example. You got to understand. You giving me an example about the history and the lineage of these franchises, like Dragon Age.
Right.
Dragon Age was a good franchise at one point, so it had that lineage against Bayonetta, which is the newcomer. God of War, it was in it, had that
There's
drastic
Bayonetta
change
1.
like Breath of the Wild.
Hold on,
So,
before you
I
even
mean,
get
but it
there
was
though,
only
like
the second
Dragon Age had
Bayonetta.
the RPGs that year, and it didn't even beat other RPGs that year.
I understand that. I understand what you're saying with that. But Dragon Age had that history of that lineage of that franchise. We're going into a year where the front runners ain't historically known franchises. They're pretty much new games. You know what I mean? And Fire Emblem ain't
Sekiro
really
too.
new, but Fire Emblem is new to this upper echelon, high quality title game of the year stuff. Astral Chain is new. Shadow Die Twice is new. You know what I mean? And Death Stranding is new. It's not an established IP. So they in a situation where nobody really has the link.
It's Kojima, though.
This is why I'm
That
telling you.
money, they're gonna pick up Sekiro Dies Twice, Shadows Die Twice though. They're gonna pick that one up. Sekiro's gonna get it.
I don't know. I think
about
that whole
that.
controversy over the difficulty was ridiculous, but
It was-
really had
They're
a
gonna say the same thing for
people
Astral
had a
Chain.
sour. Astral Chain didn't have no controversy like that.
But I'm saying, yeah, these people don't know how to play games, man. They're gonna say the game's they're gonna say it's oh, it's hard. The platform
That
is
was
difficult.
good. That was good.
I mean, well, let's get some donations right off, man. Shout out to Jeremy Miller. Thank you for the subscription. Appreciate that, bro. Cosmic Creeper donated 10 through Streamlabs. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. He says, supporting the stream, use this to plant a few N64 trees. I think he's talking about.
Yo, we're at 462 viewers though. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is nuts. This is a huge record, man. We might hit. We need to start talking about Blizzard controversies more. Blizzard.
And Death Stranding probably was a contributor.
Death Stranding, yeah, that's true. David Valdez, another David Valdez with more support. Thank you so much, David. And he says, supporting the live cast. You guys are great. Thank you, David. Appreciate the 10, man. Shout out to David Valdez. He came over from the Spawncast, man. So I thank you for supporting the stream, dude. All right. So I think that's pretty much it with that. We're gonna take some questions, unless you guys have anything else to say about this whole NPD and sales and all this other stuff.
Who want to put some money on it? Who want to put some money on it?
How much?
On what? On what, the chain game?
On which one?
I'm
Which game?
guaranteeing that Astral Chain and Fire Emblem are going to be nominated.
Oh,
Who
no,
wants
they'll be
to put money?
nominated.
Oh, they're
You
being
can't be
nominated.
betting us if you don't went down to the Game Awards and talked to Jeff Killian.
Yo, you gotta
Say
do that.
nominated.
we know your ass been to a couple of shows, so
We ain't arguing nominated, bro.
We're
Okay?
saying who's gonna win.
Who's gonna win the whole show?
I'm telling you, if Death Stranding does not rate higher than those two games, it's not going to win.
What if it rates?
Oh, it will.
What if it
Period.
rates the same?
It's not. It's not going to win if it rates the same.
Okay.
It won't.
We'll see. We're about to get
won't.
bayoneted. We're gonna get about to
And
get bayoneted two right now.
I'm being generous here because I don't think that game is.
About to get
So-
bayoneted
That game is like they're literally begging to not spoil the game. So there's some stuff like we still haven't seen yet. Even though they showed like 3 hours of gameplay, there are people saying please don't spoil the game. So there's some stuff to the game that we don't know about.
No, Kojima said that, and everybody repeated. it.
Nah.
I follow his Twitter. I follow his Twitter. I see what he be.
I will co-sign on this game if towards the end I get to fly in a scale.
There might
I
be.
co-sign on this game.
They said fly this.
There might be something like that, man. I mean, Kojima's crazy.
There ain't shit in it.
Hey, look, he made Zone of the Enders. It might be possible.
Y'all sitting up here hoping on a y'all hoping for this game. It's like praying for Sony Shield to have non-64 trees.
This guy.
You went there.
It's
You
not
went
happening.
there.
It's
I will
not
take your
happening.
N64 trees and raise you an escort mission with a baby in a bottle.
And a suitcase you have to wail at people to attack.
Yes, slowly.
Well, man, it is what it is. So we'll get some questions here, guys. If you guys have questions, feel free to let us know. Looks like Patrick Mahomes went down with a knee injury, so that's very important.
Yes,
too.
that,
He went down.
so
I
bad
don't
for
know.
the
Alex,
AFC right now.
maybe they should call Alex Smith, bring him back.
He's still injured.
Ooh, don't do that! Don't do that! Why you?
This man
Yo,
Barron, president of the Alex Smith fan club.
Look,
the only
that man was
member.
okay in San Fran.
Alex Smith has done nothing wrong.
He was all right in San Fran.
He just got injured, so I don't see what the joke is. He just got injured.
Damn.
This man's
It wasn't
leg
like he
got
was
broken
playing
into
bad.
35 pieces. This leg was literally shattered.
messed
Into,
up, man.
This man had put it was Jenga, dude. The doctors had to play Jenga with this damn leg, man.
But look, the same thing happened to Teddy Bridgewater though. Look at him now.
Okay, that's true. But Teddy Bridgewater wasn't the number one pick in the draft.
Nah, but he looking number one right now.
He's looking all right. He's got a good the team around.
You know what? I'm gonna laugh, bro. I'm gonna laugh because
What are you gonna laugh at?
I'm gonna
Yourself?
laugh when Pokemon Sword and Shield rates higher than Death Stranding. I'm gonna laugh.
bro, no,
That's not
stop.
happening.
That's not happening. Nah.
I'm just gonna tell you, I wouldn't be surprised.
What's the
And,
highest
surprised
rated
either.
Pokemon game? What's the highest rated? Is it X and Y? X and Y was the highest rated, or was it Golden? Was it
retroactively, it should
Heart Gold,
be
Soul
blue.
Silver.
It should be blue.
I thought it was Sun and Moon. One of them was 88. I remember. I thought it was
Okay,
Sun
where's
and
that? OJ, don't you have that
Which
website
Pokemon
that
game
goes
was
back and
rated 88
retroactively
on
reviews
Metacritic?
games?
Wait, what'd you say, Shadow?
Don't you? What's the name of that website that goes back and retroactively? There's
Game
there's a
rankings.
site that goes back and looks at all the old games.
Game rankings.
Game rankings.
No, what's the Metacritic score for the highest rated Pokemon
I
game?
think it's Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Unless somebody can.
I know I seen the 88, and I thought it was
That's
Pokemon X.
87.
87 for which game?
Heart Gold.
That makes sense. It is the best game, so.
Heart Gold.
Most Pokemon games rate, unless you're talking like Red and Blue. I don't know what Pokemon like Red and Blue rated, but they'll.
So 87. So y'all think Sword and Shield can't hit 87?
I don't think it will. No.
No.
Oh, so you really think
Y'all don't think it's gonna hit? Y'all don't think it's
Oh,
gonna
that
hit?
flat
Game
grass
rankings.
really gonna affect it, ain't it? Huh?
Graphics.
Yeah,
No,
right, yeah,
it's the fact that it doesn't have half the Pokedex. That's the problem.
No, I don't think it's.
Here we go.
The reviewers don't
We're not
give a
talking
damn
about
about the Pokedex. They're not going to collect all those Pokemon. The people I remember at IGN, Craig Harris. He used
Wait
to,
a sec. Pokemon Y is 88.
That's what I thought. I know
No,
I seen
Pokemon
88
Silver
a while.
91.
Okay,
I
there-
knew
Pokemon
something was an
Sil-
88.
Pokemon
So yeah,
Silver.
the highest
Pokemon Silver is 91 on game ranking.
Okay, 91 on game rankings for Pokemon Silver.
Well, we got to go by Metacritic because that's pretty much the one they're gonna go by anyway.
Yeah,
But
Metacritic
Metacritic
doesn't
don't
go
have
that
old
far
reviews.
back though. They don't
Yeah,
go back
so-
to the old games.
So Pokemon Y has an 88.
Yeah.
So that's the highest Pokemon got. And so far, every preview I've seen, everybody liked the Pokemon X and Y game, despite how it looked. So is it not too fair to say it could get to that range?
No, because of how much like the media, they're copycats. Like they're gonna look at the graphics and say, "Oh, the graphics suck. We're gonna rate it lower." They do these type of things.
The
So-
graphics has always sucked in the games,
Well,
according
there's
to
No,
there's been
they
an-
sucked once they tried third gen.
I mean, you
Their
gotta
sprite
appreciate that
work
pixel
from
life.
Gen 4 and Gen 5 were amazing.
Well, the
No
graphics
denying.
haven't. I mean, in terms of like what the system could do, yeah, obviously Pokemon games
Yeah,
haven't looked.
they aren't
as-
using all the power. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, well, you look at the 3DS like Pokemon X and Y, even like Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun, those looked a lot better than what X and Y was doing. But like, look at Resident Evil Revelations. Obviously, different styles
Yep.
of games, but the system can do a lot more. But it just depends on how much you do with your game. Obviously, the bigger the game, not as good it's gonna look. You know. So
I
Well,
don't know.
well,
I
OJ
don't know. I think they were mediocre even on the GBA though. If you look at something like what's the name of those RPGs? Golden Sun
Golden Sun.
versus Pokemon, it's night and day.
Yeah.
Golden Sun's a different style, though. I mean, obviously, Pokemon, you got to
True.
do certain things. So, I mean, it is what it is there. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at some of these questions here in the chat. If you guys have questions, we'll answer them just for about. I don't want to keep these guys too late because we're about 2 hours in here, and we started late today, or later today. So, if you guys have questions, we'll answer a few. And then Chips and Sticks, your boy Chips and Sticks. This is for you, Avedon. He says the graphics look a bit better in person than videos that we've seen. I think he's talking about Pokemon.
Yeah, he actually played it. He was actually went to you went to a con over in Seattle, right, Chips? And he has a video about this too. He said it looks a lot better in person than what you've seen on screen.
I don't give a damn because 64 trees is on the field.
Yo, Chips also bought the Jar Baby too. So
Chips got the Jar Baby. Chips got money. Chips got the Jar Baby. Chips got the $300 Final Fantasy VII remake. Chips is buying
So
everything.
He played it at PAX West. So
Pokemon Company gonna put the Jar Baby inside of Pokemon.
I mean,
Sword and
I
Shield.
think it's just really subjective. I mean, it depends on what you were
Yeah.
expecting. I mean, you're going from the 3DS. You go back and look at those 3DS games, and even with this
But
one, N64.
I got a
Tree
question- I
Attack,
got a
the-
question.
Him
this
and
one
Smash
was
said
way
the same thing though.
So,
Him
got a
and Smash
question.
JT said the same thing though. And they're the only two people that I know actually played the game. They said it looks really good in person.
It just
Well,
probably-
Smash look good in
it-
videos, so
It's a clean look. I mean, what you're gonna see like in person, you're gonna see a 1080p image. It's probably gonna be 1080p 30. So you're gonna see a clean image. The models look good. They look clean. They look a lot better than what you saw on the 3DS. So I think there's also that factor as well. You know. So
I got a question for y'all. So hypothetically, right? Very hypothetically, right?
very.
If this happens, Luigi's Mansion 3, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Star Wars, and Death Stranding all rate the same as Astral Chain and Fire Emblem. What happens at that point?
Death Stranding gets more of the Game of the Year nods than the rest of them.
Oh
And
yeah.
Star Wars.
Then Smash get Game of the Year.
Or Star Wars. Some previews are coming out with Star Wars that it's a combination of what is it, like Dark Souls and
Bloodborne
Zelda,
and
you
yeah.
know, and like
Yeah.
Metroid a little bit. So if that game's really good, that game has a fast track to win Game of the Year. Although it might be a little short and there's no multiplayer, so that can affect things a little bit. But if that game's revolutionary, like some people are trying to, I don't think it's going to be as good as some people are saying. But if that game's
But
really
you
good,
believe Death Stranding is going to be as good as those?
No.
people?
I believe Death Stranding has a twist that's gonna make people say story. Oh my god, story.
Yeah.
You know, and make it go crazy.
I don't think the gameplay is gonna be all that. I think it's just gonna be an experience, and it's gonna be stupid probably.
I've been saying that it's going to be a great. As far as the game goes, it won't.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
I've been
I still
saying.
wanna
So
see
I don't,
the extra
I don't
dimension.
understand where y'all get high scores out of that.
well, we get hyped because we're looking at the history of the media, man.
I'm looking at you. Got to understand the recent history. This game has to match up to games like Breath of the Wild, like Witcher 3, like Horizon Zero Dawn. They have to directly compare them when they review this game.
I don't trust.
So it's no way.
Baron, people look at Death Stranding with rose-tinted lenses. All right, they're gonna look at it and think,
He's
wow,
right.
this game is bad, but Kojima made it, and it had
I'm
to
sorry,
look
it's
fun,
impossible.
look
There's no way.
10 out
Metal
of 10.
Gear Solid 5
You're
is bad.
discrediting all your work.
Metal
They have
Gear
to
Solid
this game
5 is bad, and that game. Oh yeah, oh
Exactly.
that game
But
is not that great, and they rated
Y'all bringing
it so
situations
high.
that are not present. What's going to happen this year, though?
Okay, but let me ask you a question though.
Metal
What do
Gear
you think about
Solid
Metal
5
Gear
did not
Solid
have to
5?
go. Did not have to go against all those open world games.
What do you
Metal
think
Gear-
about Metal Gear Solid 5, Baron?
Metal Gear Solid 5 got a 93 Metacritic.
God damn!
It does, but what is it being compared to?
Oh my god!
Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does, which is ridiculous. But what was it getting compared to back then?
Oh my god, dude!
Like,
I don't know how it got a
So-
93, but it does.
I can understand guns that are Patriots. I can understand that.
Metal Gear
But
Solid 5 at 90.
bruh,
So there's that. It's a 93, man. So
in the open field, sneaking around.
I'm telling you, y'all not seeing what I'm saying though. With this game,
Y'all know y'all popped in Metal Gear Solid 5, played for 10 minutes. Like, why am I out here in the desert sneaking around, bro?
Literally, that's exactly what I was thinking.
What? And then you
I just
parachute
happened to
people
go
back
look,
to
and
a
I'm
base.
like,
That game is stupid.
sneaking vision it wide ass and open.
He's sneaking around in the desert, dude. There's a girl half naked with nothing on with a sniper rifle. Like, what's
I want to see something. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna count how many 100s this game has gotten back in 2015. Let's see. 1, 2,
Let's list the
3.
names. Let's list the names.
Oh, this is it. I got you. So Time Magazine 100, PlayStation
Oh.
Official 100, Level 100, Games Radar 100, digitally downloaded 100, Games.cz 100, Giant Bomb 100. We got this covered 100, Games TM 100.
Giant
All-
Bomb gave that 100 back then. Damn.
Yeah, he did.
First
All
Mint Gate,
Gamers
bro.
We're
100,
trying to tell you,
Digital-
man.
Gate.
Digital Spy 100, Level Up 100. Live PS4 100,
These are a
Cheat Code
lot of
Central
100s for a
100,
bad game.
Atomics 100, PlayStation Lifestyle 100. Goodness, yo, Merit Station 100, Gameblog.fr 100, Telegraph 100, God is a Geek 100, 3D Wagos 100, GameSpot 100, IGN 100. Then we
All right,
got-
Abaddon, let me cut you.
that was the last 100.
Here's the situation y'all got to understand from back then till now. That game was also being rated to what it was going up against in that year as well. It's still ridiculous. Trust me. It really,
Now you're moving goalposts, Baron.
it's
Nah.
that's not moving the goalposts.
Yeah, it
That's the
is.
same situation. If Breath of the Wild and God of War came out, it would have turned. Things would have came out a little bit differently for God of War. So you cannot sit up here and say you got to understand the competition that it's going against.
You
got
know
to
what came out
understand.
that year?
You got to understand. I don't know what came out that year. Can't even
Xenoblade
remember.
Chronicles X came out that year.
Yeah, it did actually. And
Oh,
Xenoblade
you know,
Chronicles-
Let,
Yeah,
let's,
but
let's
X
dare-
X wasn't as good as the first. So that
Whoa, hold on now.
Let's
Hold
dare
on
look
now.
at
That's
Metal
all.
Gear.
I
You got
like
the video
X.
chip now
I
right
like
now. Hold
X.
up.
That's a
We're
whole
not gonna
different
get into that.
conversation, guys.
But here's my situation
That's a
I'm
whole
bringing
different
to you.
conversation.
You got these open world games that are now being set as standards in this industry that everybody praise now, with Breath of the Wild, with Witcher 3, with Horizon Zero Dawn, and all the other ones, Red Dead Redemption 2. Those are the standards that everybody talks about now.
But-
So that game has to be compared to those when they start reviewing this
Witcher
game.
3
It
Metal
just
Gear-
got to be compared to
They came
Xenoblade
out in the
Chronicles
same
X
year.
at this point.
Or Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So it's like you got to compare it to all these games.
But Witcher 3
It has to be significantly as good or better than those games to get these high scores.
Witcher 3
And I don't think y'all seeing that.
and Metal Gear Solid came out in the
We're
same
saying
year.
it's hilarious. That's
Yeah.
what we're saying.
Metal
It's
Gear,
not
Metal
happening
Gear
for
and Witcher
Death
came out in the
Stranding.
same year, Baron. Like it was literally being compared to that. They still it's Kojima. The Kojima influence of these games sometimes blows these games up. Metal Gear Solid 5 is not 100 out of it's not 5 billion 100. You go
It's
back and
Metal
play that
Gear
game,
Solid. This is the same situation you brought up earlier.
but it's Kojima Gear Solid. It's Kojima.
It's not the best
This
It's
shooter
game-
Metal
that
Gear
year.
Solid,
It's
dude.
not the best open world game that year.
They could
It
say
wasn't.
this game Metal Gear Solid could have been called Solid Gear Metal. and it would have been rated an 85.
But Witcher
instead
3
of a
still took
93 or
Witcher
an
3
82.
still took home the prize though. So I
I know,
mean,
but what
yes,
I'm
yes,
saying-
it still got overrated, but Witcher 3 still took home the prize.
And I understand. What I'm saying is that
And you
it
wonder
gets
why it's
extra,
still rated $60.
it gets extra points.
should
'cause
be
it's
si-
it gets extra
No,
points because
that
it's
is-
Kojima. What we're trying to say, extra points for Kojima. That's what we're saying here. Extra points.
But
for
you got to
Kojima.
understand, it was also extra points because it was Metal Gear Solid.
No,
Well, it's
This is
Kojima
a new
too, 'cause that's his
franchise.
voice.
Kojima.
I think it's
He's like
I think
super
it's
tight.
Kojima
Okay,
more than
all
Metal
right.
Gear Solid. I think
All
it's,
right, all right.
I think it's Kojima. Kojima is what gets these extra points from these people and the influence that he has and the Keeley points and stuff like that. You know, like
We also gotta include
Y'all
one
sit
thing.
up here like Metal
Hold
Gear
up.
Solid don't hold
Hold
no
up,
weight.
hold
That
up.
thing holds
No, it
weight.
does, but
Nah,
Kojima-
I'm gonna add something.
But we saying that man on that job too, though.
Yo, we gotta.
That's true, but you
Facts,
still got to
shout
understand
outs,
these
facts.
games that it has to be compared to, bro. It's
Okay,
just
but
not
Xenoblade
happening.
Chronicles
But
X.
yo,
Go ahead,
Baron,
Adam,
hold up.
Adam, go ahead.
You gotta
Go ahead.
understand that's Metal Gear Solid 5 with controversy because they got rid of David Hayter. We're forgetting about that.
Oh
The
yeah,
controversy with David Hayter.
That was the
that's
first game without
with-
him.
That's with the controversy. That game scored a 93.
That's
Imagine if it had David Hayter in there. That would have been like a 95, 96 easy.
And also the sexist controversy with Quiet. Like,
Exactly.
You know, and also that because you just saw a girl half naked with the sniper rifle. So that was a thing. But that game, anyway, the weirdness and everything, like when I bought that game, I didn't expect what I was gonna get, and I ended up playing. I was like, Twin Snakes and like Metal Gear Solid 2 destroy this game. Like, what am I wasting my time playing this game? I'm done.
I was
dude.
gonna
Like,
say that. I was gonna say that girl.
really-
She didn't like wearing clothes anyway in any of the other games.
Well, she stayed quiet about it.
True, maybe.
It was a bad.
All right, man.
Anyway,
just remember, I told y'all so, man. Just like I told y'all
That was a
about
horrible
the summer.
pun.
So.
Love on the battlefield.
Let's okay. We're gonna have just a couple more questions here, guys. Any questions from the chat? Then we'll let these guys skedaddle. I'm going to. I don't know what I'm gonna.
It's getting late. I actually got dip soon. I got to stream soon.
We got 455 people right now, though.
We had 462 at a high point.
Yeah, actually, the highest was 464.
So what? Y'all bringing those questions right now, man.
That was Juice Man Vaughn says that was trash. All right. Well, I tried. They said terrible. Everyone's saying terrible. I just said she stayed quiet about the situation, bro. She didn't say nothing. I'm sorry, it was a bad pun, but I had to try it. Everyone's favorite Pokemon game. BC.
Red and blue.
Probably Heart Gold and Soul Silver, with right behind them Black 2 and White 2, and Ruby and Sapphire.
Gold and silver for me, the original.
Diamond and Pearl, and Red and Blue for me. Let's say I'm right. I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid. I'm a huge MGS fan, and 5 was trash, says Maui. Yeah, 5. I hear a lot of people say 5 was really bad in terms of like big Metal Gear fans saying they don't like 5, and it's never looked at as like 5 is like, oh, what's your favorite Metal Gear games? Oh, 5. Nobody says that. Everyone's like, okay, well, the original. People say 2. People say 4. I love 2. I love 4. I love Twin Snakes. I love all. I even like 3. You know what I'm saying? Like which
1 through 4. 3 is arguably the best in the series.
Yeah,
and that's in
arguably
my
the best
opinion.
in the series. 3. I mean, Subsistence though, not the original one. That camera was too much for me. But the Subsistence one, where they actually fixed the camera, that was fantastic. So I like all of them, but 5 just pissed me off. I played and beat Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and 4 all in a row, all day one for the most part. With Twin Snakes being day one, I was too. I didn't have a PlayStation, so whatever. But the original PlayStation for Metal Gear Solid. But yeah, that Metal Gear Solid 5, I was like, I'm done with this. This is crap. All right, so let's see. Why are people keep hating on Super Mario Party and New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe? Because they're not ambitious, probably. They're just kind of.
Charity has a question too, actually.
Charity?
She said to everyone in the podcast, what was your favorite concert you've ever been to?
Concert? Like music concert?
Like, yeah, like, that's what she means.
I don't think I have a favorite music concert, to be honest. So I don't know.
Oh, man, that's kind of hard.
I've seen Drake, I've seen Eminem, I've seen Mac Miller, I've seen Wiz Khalifa. That was a great concert. That was a crazy concert. Yeah, I've seen Journey, I've seen Foreigner, I've seen Avenged Sevenfold.
What was your favorite one though?
Honestly, maybe Drake, just because he like pointed at me and talked to me for like 10 seconds.
Oh my god!
But like the actual concert I enjoyed physically,
I can't stand
in
Drake.
there was Wiz Khalifa. That concert was amazing.
Nice. Okay.
It was
Well,
best.
podcast
For all the
opinions
right
on
reasons.
Ring Fit out tomorrow and how it will do with predictions. Well, it's already on Metacritic. It has a 75 right now on Metacritic, so there's that. But I'm getting it. Nintendo's sending me a copy, so I'll make a video on it. And I'll tell you how it is when I get it.
Oh,
damn, it's gonna rain. It's a damn hurricane. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the end of the hurricane season almost.
Favorite OST in video games? Chrono Trigger for me.
Favorite? Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah, that is
Trigger?
hard.
Yeah.
That's a hard.
Well, it does kind of beat you in the head a lot. Like that soundtrack is repeated a lot.
There's bangers all over Chrono Trigger.
All right, I got a question. I got a question for the
I gotta
chat.
go Xenoblade Torna or Octopath personally.
See, you say greatest of all.
Soundtrack.
You say greatest of all time. See, I think of Streets of Rage 1. I think of Sonic 3. I think of Final Fantasy 7. Even Final Fantasy 8. It's like there's so many games that have great OSTs.
I'm partial to
I'm
Sonic
gonna tell y'all what the
Sonic
greatest.
2.
Metropolis on.
I'm gonna tell you what one is the greatest of all time that never gets talked about,
What's
and
up?
that is Mad World. Mad World
World's pretty
soundtrack
good.
was
man,
that's a
outstanding.
great
Commentary, the beats, yes.
That is a great soundtrack.
Yes.
But Yasunori Mitsuda, nothing beats or Chrono Trigger soundtrack. There's just too many bangers, dude. There's just the battle music, Glenn's music, or Frog.
It is iconic
it's
though,
just-
but that's coming from the
it's-
Final
it
Fantasy
is.
team. So
It's Uematsu, and
Yeah.
Matsuda. So I mean, like, it's amazing.
That's why Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is so good.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the same. Yeah, same guy. So I mean,
and believe it or not, X for all the people that hate the
Yo,
overworld,
X had the best overworld music out of all the.
Yeah, it did. It
that
did.
battle music, the overdrive music got me.
Hey,
I'm crying in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 hearing that.
when you left the little US hub and you finally threw your scale and the music
Man.
changed. Oh man, that was so
What?
dope.
Oh,
I loved it.
I will say honorable mention: Fire Emblem Awakening and Fire Emblem Three Houses, bangers all
Fire
across.
Emblem-
Bangers all
Fire
across.
Emblem got bangers.
Fire Emblem always has
I'll give you
bangers.
that.
Fire Emblem Warriors, very underrated. Well, because they just take all the music and they remix it, but they make them like crazy. Oh my, Fire Emblem Warriors! If you haven't listened to that, listen to that. It takes
Persona
the Fire
5
Emblem
has
music
some
and-
great music too,
Oh,
though.
Persona 5.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
We can't forget about that.
Can't
Definitely.
forget about that. Persona 5 is definitely up there in my top as well. Yeah, Persona 5 is
There's a lot. That's why I say it's hard to say what's your favorite. You know, there's a lot.
the next, and we'll finish off on this one here, guys. And Jesus Christ, shout outs to the viewership tonight. You guys are nuts, man.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it up to?
And the
Nick?
chat on Swole.
55.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tonight was
Hey
Steady
man, we
455.
got to give them what they want, man.
yeah.
Yeah, they want us here.
It's like
Well,
Friday night.
listen here, okay, guys. You guys are the ones who didn't show up.
Party break.
I'm gonna read off some donations and then we'll get to the last question here, okay? So we had Andy donated $5 and says your box still smells funny, VC.
Wait, what?
Damn,
It's
what?
I
an-
don't even know what that's referencing
What's
right
going
now.
on right
Whoa, hold
It's
up.
an inside joke. Actually, I was.
I don't want to know
saying
the
that
inside joke is about. I don't even know what it's about.
You have to go on the Luke cast to figure that out.
All right, so there you go, the Loot Cast to figure that one out. And then also, Juice Man Bomb with another $2 says Anarchy Reigns OST was pretty underrated too. Okay, yeah, that game was just trash, so nobody played, so nobody listened to the music. That game was just kind of trash. The multiplayer. I mean, the single player was all right. The multiplayer could be fun, but it was just kind of like they threw in the Mad World dude and they threw in Bayonetta in there, and it didn't really save it. But yeah, Anarchy Reigns was cool, and like people were salty because Anarchy Reigns came out and like it wasn't on Switch, and like what the hell, you guys used the money from Mad World to freaking make Anarchy Reigns and you
Yeah.
put it on PS4 or PS3 and 360. That's BS. So people were pissed.
I'm salty for that too.
We
Yeah,
need
a
a
lot of people were
sequel
salty.
to
A lot
the
of people
Mad
were
World.
salty. Because
They need
Mad
to
World
bring that
funded that
back.
game. It was essentially a pseudo sequel, but they didn't want to call it Mad World 2 because, like, oh, wait a minute, it's not on. Or sorry, did I say Switch? I meant Wii. Wii. That's what I meant. I said Switch, but I meant Wii.
Wii.
So people were pissed. I remember when I was
Wii
like,
U.
what the heck? I was like, why isn't there Mad World 2 that we're getting this? And I was like, all right, well.
Yeah, that wasn't a true sequel though. That was
Yeah,
It
they
was
could
a
at least put it
spiritual
on Wii U
sequel,
though.
It because like you walked around in like areas and like you threw people into traps. You could play as the Mad World guy. Like it was definitely a follow up. They just didn't want to call it Mad World 2 because it wasn't going to
It's-
be on the Wii.
And like kind of spoiler-ish, but you fight some of the people you killed in the first game.
Yeah.
Like or you that's kind of weird, but
that's the thing. It wasn't a true sequel. It's more like almost trying to be a fighter, just an arena fighter, just
Well,
bringing
they-
all these
they-
characters back.
They took the
That's why
ideas-
Bayonetta and all these other guys too. So,
But the thing
but
about
they
it is that
added some elements from Mad World to it. That's not really a sequel.
without the
or follow-up to
success of Mad World, there's no Anarchy Reigns.
That's true because it had to do with that development team at that time.
And
So
the money that they got, so people were salty. It was definitely they took the ideas of Mad World and they blew it up. They said, let's add multiplayer, let's add bigger arenas. They blew up all the ideas from Mad World, and then they didn't put it on the Wii. So people were mad. You know what I'm saying?
I still hope they make a sequel to that game. Neat.
Cosmic Creeper donated $10. Says plant some N64 trees. He wants us to plant those N64 trees, man. Shout out to Cosmic Creeper. He's the homie, man. He really helps out. Auron donated $1.99. Says play from Xenoblade. Oh, we don't do music on here, so we can save that one for
He was just kidding.
He was joking.
He was just kidding.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was just joking. Yeah, he said JK, so it is what it is. All right, so this will be the last question, guys. This will be the last question, and that is, I forgot, somebody had a good question, but I didn't, dang it, I missed it.
Do you remember by who?
No, I don't remember. So we'll just
I'll scroll real quick if you want. Chupa, what do you think are Ultimate's odds of even getting nominated for the Game of the Year at Game of the Year Awards?
Hilarious.
I agree. It should happen, but it's not.
It should win.
No, Smash Ultimate is going to get nominated. The way Jeff Keighley singled that game out when he first announced the Game Award,
True.
it's probably going to be nominated.
True.
It's not going to win, but it's probably going to get nominated.
It sold so many copies, it has to win.
No, it's not about sales, though. It's not about sales.
But it's not about sales.
It's rated so high too.
This is why I'm telling you that they are in a situation where the credibility is become into jeopardy because they're in situations where the Switch is so dominant, they have to put so many games in the nomination.
So is that your fallback?
He's got a point.
Why
He's got a point.
Was getting bought because it wasn't.
No, I've been saying that.
Okay.
I brought this up like 2 podcasts ago. I said Jeff Keighley singled out Smash Ultimate when he made the first tweet about the Game Awards. He said it will be in the run.
They don't want to look like complete frauds.
And they don't want to look like they're losing credibility. This is why I'm saying when Death Stranding doesn't rate as high, don't be shocked when this game doesn't win. That's why I said this is Astral Chain's and Fire Emblem's year.
I don't know.
Astral Chain has a much more edge.
We'll see. Oh yeah, it has a much more because like they see Smash Brothers as the same thing. Games that are the same thing usually don't win if they see it as the same thing, right? So that's the problem with Smash Brothers. It's seen as the same thing because people go there, they press the A button, don't know how to play Smash, and they throw some items around. They say 9.5. Like that's what they do. That's what reviewers do. 9.5 out of 10, and then they never play the game. They had 10 hours logged on Smash Brothers. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. You know, these reviewers don't vote for it. They don't know how to play Smash. Don't know what a fastball is if it freaking hit them in the freaking head, man. So I mean, that's just how it is.
I mean,
So the game that competed with Phantom Pain in 2015, it was it got a couple of 100s as well, but it wasn't from the usual suspects. It was from Time Magazine and the Examiner and 2 other fan sites. And then
what game you talking about?
Xenoblade Chronicles X. And then the usuals gave it a 80 or below, or like 82, I think is what IGN gave it, and then everything else is like in the 80s. From all the usual suspects, like
that's why I got it. That's why I got it. It got an 87, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
but I'm like, ain't no way, man. And then if you look at all the other off sites or whatever, they're literally like, this should be nominated for Game of the Year. This should be nominated for Game of the Year. This should be nominated.
It should have been. It should
until you got to the major press, and the major press is just like, it's an okay JRPG.
Yeah, JRPGs have a tough time.
Well,
but I think Fire Emblem
are the ones making the votes. Let's be real here.
Yeah, I mean JRPGs have a tough time. We know that. You know what I mean? But
IGN, with all their infinite experience, this is the summary they gave. Xenoblade Chronicles X is a massive RPG with enough surface area subquests and customization to keep you busy.
Yeah,
that was their summary for the largest game mass in 2015.
But here's the thing.
Gig around.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. This is around that time where everything was still going very story driven. So if you didn't have like that overwhelming story aspect to it,
true,
that's probably what held the X down.
And this game, the story didn't start running until the end game. Actually, you had to beat the game and then start doing those quests, and then the quests were better than the main.
But then you got to understand though, it's like, and the creators of Xenoblade, they even mentioned this when it was making Xenoblade Chronicles 2. X, the reason why they call it X is because they want to make it more exploration based. They wanted it.
Yeah.
That was the whole purpose of it. That's why Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, 3, those are going to be story driven. And that's why when X2 comes out, whenever it comes out, it's going to be another exploration based game, which is, I'm waiting for. I like those types of games. Those games are fun.
And somebody pointed out in the chat another situation. It said Persona 5 also changed the game. So Persona 5 got nominated.
Yeah.
So that changed everything for Fire Emblem.
Because you up in there now.
So now that's why I keep telling y'all this is what's going to happen. Y'all not.
No, but Baron, you don't understand.
Nintendo needs to get on the horn and call Brownie Brown and say, "Get off your ass." And
Yo, Baron, Persona 5 was rated that high because it was on the PlayStation 4. If it was on the Switch, they wouldn't have batted an eye.
That's true. Also,
I don't know.
The Switch wasn't even out.
That's fine, but guess what? It happened. And now it opened the door for Fire Emblem.
Yes.
I don't care how it got there, but it got there. So now it opened the door for Fire Emblem.
It's rated 4 points higher though than Fire Emblem. You gotta, or 5.4.
Okay, that's nice, but it's not going against Persona 5. It's going against what came out this year.
I understand.
That's all that matters.
Okay. Well, you know what matters is the fact that we gotta wrap this one up. That's what matters.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic podcast this week, guys. Fantastic podcast. Thank you guys for the viewers. I guess you guys were upset that I didn't stream earlier. I'm sorry. I had to get some stuff done. But yeah, shout outs to everybody. Like I said, I do have a little bit of I'll tell you guys tomorrow on OJ Live. I got some stuff for you guys. But okay, we'll go ahead and we'll do outros. So we're gonna start with Baron. Baron, where can they find you at, my man?
You can find me on my channel, The Emperor Baron Black. I will be doing a live gospel tomorrow. Finally coming back after almost 2 weeks. I know. Suck at being consistent. Find me on Twitter too, especially with these reviews about to come out for Death Stranding and Luigi's Mansion. My Twitter finna be hot. Well, you don't want to miss it. My Twitter lit.
You gonna be wilding out.
My Twitter finna
wilding out.
Just be careful. Don't overdose on Baron's Twitter. Otherwise, you're gonna walk away with a migraine.
You're gonna get upset.
You know what I'm saying? And probably IQ points a bit lower. So
if you want quality entertainment and you want to see fanboyism worse and laugh at it, you'll follow my Twitter. It's going to get weird.
You'll find people who don't know the concept of what a generation is. Who think
I know, right? Let's not do that again.
And the last thing I want to say, everybody in the chat, follow what your fellow Switch guys have been doing. Head over to that Game Award Twitter. Let them know that you love Fire Emblem Three Houses, and let them know you love Astral Chain, and let them know what they deserve. Because we're going to get it done this year. We're going to avenge Bayonetta for 2014, damn it. I'm not going to breathe until we get this done this year.
You know what we're going to end up? You know what we're actually going to end up like, man? We're going to end up like the Philadelphia Eagles, bro.
I can't wait
to
see
the NFC Championship game and losing every single time. That's what it's going to be.
I can't wait to see who wins.
Don't feel bad.
That's true. Abaddon, where can they find you at, my man?
Y'all can find me over at Abaddon Smith. Oh, there it is in the chat. YouTube, Abaddon Smith. Twitter, Abaddon Smith. And Mixer, Abaddon Smith. Every platform, you can find me at Abaddon Smith. So, there you go.
Shout outs. And then also, Shadow Fox, where can they find you at, my man?
Y'all can find me on Twitter. I'm the guy that when I post, I have the little icon of the little blue girl on there. That's a character in the Shadow Fox universe. So yeah, I'm not a girl, and I be dragging people on Twitter. So follow me on there. My channel is Shadow Fox Infinite. You'll find videos on there, and occasionally people get dragged on there too if they bold enough to come on the podcast with me. So yeah, just follow me, and then once I get to 1,000 followers, I'll send y'all more updates when I do videos. That's it.
All right, MVC, where can they find you at, my man?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, VCIPZ. 5 letters, real quick. And I got music. I dropped an album last week. It's doing really well at the moment. And also I had a Fire Emblem Three Houses review that I dropped. I put the link in the chat along with an album link in the chat as well. You can check that out. Smash the like button, subscribe, and thank you, OJ, again for letting me be on the podcast. Great times as usual. Great discussions.
You did do that. I didn't know you had a review of that.
Yep, I dropped it last week. Yeah, I dropped it last week. So
and just to give you guys another example, real quick, guys. LeBron James, 43 million followers on Twitter. 43 million. You want to know why NBA 2K sells so much? 43 43 million followers on Twitter for LeBron James. Patrick Mahomes, the MVP of the NFL last year, 600 and something thousand followers. See what I'm saying?
Well, you know he's not going to have the most followers.
I know he's not, but I don't think anybody in the NFL can compete with the NBA's star power. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe Tom Brady, but he's old at this point, you know? So that's what I'm talking about. Like why NBA 2K is the best selling. You don't think 40 some out of these 40 something million people, you don't think about maybe a cool 6 or 7 million of them just by his followers alone are buying NBA 2K this year? Of course they are. It's NBA. That's why the game sells so much, because you got cats that have 43 million plus followers on Twitter in the NBA. So just to give you guys a little bit of a compare and contrast why NBA 2K is doing so well. There you go.
NBA 2K is also on a lot of platforms.
That's true.
I mean, it's a pretty good game,
Including Switch. So, yeah, it's on a lot of platforms.
I liked it back on the Dreamcast. So
I actually
I'll put that link in the chat for everybody who asked for Shane. Go let your voice be heard. We getting this train started right now.
My guy.
I'm making a hype video on this. It's coming out Monday. We getting this thing running.
My dude, you gonna put out that Twitter post instead of your own channel though?
They know where my channel is.
Well, they can find it.
See, the problem is I already commented on it. So
We're gonna wrap
Oh,
it up.
I know. VC was already there.
yeah.
We're gonna let you guys go. It's been 2 hours and 30 minutes, so we're gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next one. We'll be back next week. All right, guys.
Peace.
peace
No
out.
flat grass. No
out.
flat grass.
Play games.
Don't
Have
fight
fun.
sword and shield.
More trees, man.
Do you
Don't
play
swing on
games to have fun, or do you play games to not vote for Bayonetta? Bye.
There you go.